off stream. Okay. I think I have everything I need, so let's go on, and I need to try to remember what was going on. I need to remember everyone's names again. I think Kano is the person I want to go to next. I think his story just ended like he had just been talking to the girl, and then someone came in, pointed a gun at them, and it was like very, this looks like a bad ending, but oh, it's to be continued. Maybe there's more to it. No, sorry, Archie. I got him his name mixed up. Archie's who I'm talking about. Kano had just tried to catch the guy who stole the briefcase, and he threw it over to someone on a motorbike or something like that. Minorikawa had just witnessed someone, an employer or a co-worker, or I forget exactly, had just hung himself. Usawa had just found out that his daughters were kidnapped, his daughters of course being Hitomi and the other one that has a less Japanese name. And Tama had just found out that their employer had been taken away by law sharks. I haven't played this at all in the past week, but I think that's what's going on. Why their names are grey like that? Can I not pick them? Oops, I didn't mean to do that at all. Sorry. Let's go back to the time chart. Oh, I guess it's because they're at an end, so it's not ideal to pick them. But if we pick Archie, we might see something new. The man with a cane aimed at his gun at Hitomi, his face devoid of emotion. "Please," the girl said, trembling. "Why are you doing this?" But the man did not reply. Quickly, Archie stepped in between Hitomi and the gun. Hitomi is not committing to this scene as much as Archie, spreading his arms wide. "Stop," he said in English, one of the few English words he knew. He quickly reverted back to Japanese. "Who the hell are you?" Still, the man did not respond. "You know this guy who told me?" "No." Archie was sure he'd never seen the man either. "What are you after? Money? Because if you are, boy, you're wasting your time chasing us." I just realised it wasn't the man talking to them. The man furrowed his brow, adjusting his point of aim at Archie's face. His bloodthirsty gaze left Archie no doubt he was willing to pull the trigger. Reflexively, Archie took a step back, his foot clattering against the discarded beer bottle. "We're going to get gunned down for sure, unless we can find some way to catch this guy off guard." It didn't need to be much. If Archie could just distract the gunman for a moment, buy himself the briefest window. "Shoot me then." "Go on, do it." He stepped forward as he shouted, hoping the provocation would confuse the guy just for long enough. Even as Archie moved, the gunman's attention was distracted for an instant by a sudden sound. The phone in his breast pocket was ringing. Seeing his chance, Archie... "Let's go fight." Seeing his chance, Archie lunged forward in an attempt to wrest the gun away. He reached out with both hands, attempting to knock it down to the floor. The man's grip on the weapon was stronger than he expected, however, and he shoved Archie away with surprising force. The gunman's posture radiated a ferocious determination. His eyes, though, were dead, like a man's wide and hollow. Sorry. Hey Evie. I said I was gonna stream. We just, for anyone who doesn't know, this is 428. It is a visual novel that takes place with 5 different perspectives across a very normal day in Shibuya. Which is to say that I have just rescued a kidnapped girl and now I am fighting a guy with a gun. I was just picking up trash an hour ago. His eyes, though, were like a dead man's, wide and hollow. Oh, whoops, sorry, I clicked off it. It was unsettling, to say the least. Who the heck is this guy? Hitomi! Archie shouted. Get out of here now! But Hitomi was rooted in place with terror. Run! He's snapping out of it at last. She bolted for the door. She paused in the doorway to look back at him. Archie! What the hell are you waiting for? Archie said. Get the hell out of here now! Finally, Hitomi slipped out of the building. At some point, the assassin had managed to snatch up a beer bottle in his free hand. Uh-oh. Archie tried to duck, but he was a hair too slow. The makeshift weapon caught him in the left ear. He staggered his head, spinning, barely able to tell which way was up. So the cat, they were, I don't know what you saw, but they were selling fraudulent weight loss products, or trying to and failing, and they went back to have lunch, but they couldn't get their cat suit off because the zipper was stuck. And then shortly after they found their boss, who was going to pay them for doing this, was getting taken away by loan sharks, and that's the last we've seen of them. And it is assumably Archie or Kano's fault that he got caught by the loan sharks. He staggered, his head spinning, barely able to tell which way was up. His vision dimmed, but still he refused to yield. He headbutted the man in the nose as hard as he could. The assassin staggered backwards. Then, all the remaining strength left Archie's body. Who's Discording pinging me? I heard a thing. I heard two things. Archie tried to fight a dangerous assassin unarmed, but the man turned out to be more than he could handle. Wait, then who was it? I'm not seeing a Discord ping anywhere. Oh, yes I did, anyway. There's gotta be, try to use Zoom. That's a risky course of action, okay. I also thank you for the sub. Alright, so... I mean, when is like choosing the most aggressively obvious option ever right in one of these things, but I had to do it. Let's try a different approach. Seeing his chance, Archie snatched up a beer bottle and swung it at the assassin. The man narrowly avoided being struck, but he staggered wildly off balance. Hitomi! Archie grabbed her by the hand and dashed out of the club. The two sprinted away through the side streets and alleys of Shibuya. Archie began to feel as if they were running some maddening maze. Before long, the two had made it almost as far as Aoyama. Wait up! Huh? Oh shit, I did it backwards again. Archie, wait up! Usually Archie's the more talkative one. Archie glanced back at Hitomi. Ah, my bad. Guess we've been running pretty hard. You tired? Hitomi shook her head. No, it's just, I have to get to Dogenzaka. Dogenzaka? What for? What could she possibly need to do there now? That's what I was told when I was handed over the attaché case. The man leaned in to whisper to Hitomi as he reached out for the case. You're going to do exactly as I tell you. 2 things. He wore a cool, feigned smile, as if there was some cool, casual conversation. First, you're going to get back to Dogenzaka and get in the blue van there. Hitomi nodded wordlessly. Second, you will not attempt to contact either the police or your family in the meantime. His chilling tone brooked no argument. I mean, I definitely haven't done that in Danganronpa. Just those two things, and we'll let your sister go. Hitomi nodded again. The man flashed her a big, bright grin. Okay then, give me the money. A blue van in Gonzaku, huh? Hachi muttered. So that's why you said the police were a no-go. Yes, exactly. Hitomi's voice betrayed her desperation. I wonder if your sister's in that van then. If she is, then we've got to hurry. The issue lay in how to get to Gonzaku. They probably could avoid their pursuer if they kept on the streets only the locals usually knew about. That meant staying off the more well-trafficked routes like Roppongi Dori or the stretch between Miyamasuka and the station. The side roads south of the station were their best bets. It was going to be a long detour. Alright, come on. Turning, Archie headed back the way they'd come. After a moment's confusion, Hitomi followed. Archie? There was a note of worry in her voice. Hey, don't sweat it. I actually live in Dokkanzaka. We're heading right back to my old neighborhood. Hitomi bowed her head. Thank you so much. Hey, it's no problem. I had to head home anyway. Archie gave her a grin, and she cracked a tiny smile of her own. Hey, you two. Got a minute? Are these the guys from before? Probably not. Archie looked around. A pair of men approached from across the street. There was something shady looking about them. Archie's protective instincts kicked in, but he stepped in front of Hitomi. If these guys meant trouble, he wanted to be ready. We just want to ask you something. The younger of the two men drew in close, a sharp gleam in his eyes. Archie braced himself. Ask us what? You know where the Nakame building is? The man held up a flyer. It was some sort of health food Sasayama. Here we go. Come on, man. The Nakame building? You know where it is or not? Archie knew the name. Wasn't that one of the buildings in Senegai? That was near Joginzaka, the same direction he was going. Well, I don't know, because obviously I know for the sake of Cat Girl, I shouldn't help them, but maybe for the time being I should, and then I'll fix course later. No harm in helping a couple lost dudes. Archie pointed them in the direction of Center Guy. Yeah, it's just this way. See, what the hell did I tell you? The bald man snapped at his companion. My bad, man, my bad. You were right. God, you couldn't find your way out of a paper bag with a map of a compass. My bad, man. Get us a taxi. Word. Maybe I should... I've been thinking I should just do Hitomi's voice for it because it's easy to do. Thanks, man. The strangers nodded at Archie. Sorry to bug you. With that, the two headed off toward the main road. They're bringing it back. Although, I think that this game is fairly old, I don't know. Archie and Hitomi hurried onward, following the sparsely trafficked side streets toward Doganzaka. I didn't even think I even knew this part of Shibuya was here, Hitomi said, as she looked around. Yeah, a lot of people don't. I used to mess around in this old neighborhood when I was a kid. The area was a mishmash of rundown residences and office buildings. Almost nobody ever comes here unless they live or work on one of these streets. And check it out. Over there, a rare first-hand glimpse of the Shibuya River. Whoop. Wait. That's not the button I meant to press. I meant to press the button to check the tips. I couldn't remember what it was though. A minor river that runs from the Miyamasu Bridge to the Tengen Bridge. Depicted in the 36 Views of Mount Fuji by Edo period ukiyo-e artist Hokusai. In Hokusai's time, fireflies were collected from the Shibuya River and presented to the shogun, leading credence to the idea that the river was indeed clean in the past. I haven't played this in a week. Have you always lived in Shibuya, Hachi? Yep, born and raised. Hachi bent down and picked up a piece of trash from the roadside. That's why I do this. It just pisses me off to see folks make a mess of this place. He picked up another piece of trash. I don't have a job, so I just pick up garbage every day. Man, what am I even doing? Like, cleanup even matters right now. Hitomi took a long, hard look at his face. What? He demanded. What is it? You're a strange one, Archie. That's so? She was right, of course. It was sort of strange collecting trash every day instead of getting a job. He had his reasons for it, but they weren't important right now. Right now, the important thing was getting Hitomi to Zogenzaka. Come on, he murmured. A suddenly angry shout broke the silence as they hurried along. That sounded more violent than a shout. Hey, hold it right there! Archie and Hitomi stopped, but the shout wasn't directed at them. Further up the road, a group of thuggish-looking men were having some kind of argument. The man who was shouting had grabbed one of the others by the neck. Wait. Idiots! And you still have the gall to call yourselves SOS? The Studs of Shibuya. A youth gang operating out of Shibuya. Founded by Archie Endo. Its current leader is Susumu Nishizawa. Yeah, the music's sweet. Oh yeah, that's because I think Archie is like an ex-gang leader. I mean, yes, this is Moo, but the other men standing around look distinctly uncomfortable. It takes money to run an organization. No, I know, and it's not like you're Archie or nothing. I thought you could maybe spare some help on that front, boss. The top dog, the man in charge, the head honcho. Here it refers to the leader of the SOS, Susumu. Change in leadership can really shake up an organization. The new boss's personality and disposition are a huge factor in whether the group continues to prosper. The fact that Susumu is being asked to spare some help on the monetary front suggests he still has things to learn about being in charge. I'm so bad at doing these, like, thug voices. they keep turning into Archie. Hitomi looked at Archie when the stranger spoke his name. He smiled awkwardly and then turned back to the altercation. Shut your mouth, Susumu barked. How dare you say Archie's name in my presence? Hey, Archie called out. What was that about me? As soon as they saw him, the other men went pale. Archie kept his tone casual as he strolled up to the group. Susumu, you can't just give a guy a beatdown in broad daylight. To mess someone up super bad, usually with punches and kicks. Don't want to shock the upstanding people of our fair city. Archie, Susumu glared. Can we drop the pleasantries? Aye, Archie replied with a hint of a sneer. You got it, Susumu. And I'd like to point out that we're not on a first name basis. Also unnecessary. With that, Susumu turned and stalked away. His buddies followed suit, leaving Archie and Hitomi alone again. Did you know that guy? Hitomi asked. His name's Susumu Nishizawa. And yeah, I know him, or I thought I did. Used to be friends way back. Me and those guys were all part of the same crew, but I bailed a little while ago. Archie fell silent. To his great relief, Hitomi didn't pry further. Archie and Hitomi had gone a short distance further when he caught sight of a man picking up something along the train tracks. Huh, I wonder. Archie went over to him. Hey man, you picking up trash by any chance? Huh? The man let out a panicked shout. Tasei Yasuda, 35 years old, just opened a knick-knack shop in Shibuya. Archie knows Shibuya like his own backyard, but this Yasuda guy is new enough that Archie doesn't recognize him. It's the definition for this man. Sorry, it just kinda looked like that's what you're doing. Oh, yeah, I'm picking up trash, of course. The guy seemed pretty unnerved. Okay, but what is this genie thing segueing to? Assumably it's something to make fun of me. Um, like, I just got to thinking, man, this place is filthy. Right on! Archie clasped the man's hand in his own. Someone else who gets it. They do? Totally. I see all this trash all over the place and I can't stand it. Oh, I see it now too. Oh yeah, sure. The man breathed a sigh of relief. I can't stand it when someone throws away something that when it can still be useful. I hear that. That's the spirit, haha. Archie pulled out the trash he had stuffed in his pocket. Here you go. Huh? Go ahead, have all of it. The man looked dumbfounded. Usually I go around picking the trash around here, but I've got a little thing I gotta do today. You got it from here, I'm counting on you. What? Actually, I'm kind of... Great, thanks. Archie beamed in approval, then rejoined Hitomi and headed down the street. The man let out a sigh. Fine. He just... some guy he's never met before just gave him garbage. It's good. Slipping through a narrow back alley, they came out near the top of Dogonzaka. Archie looked down the hill, but didn't see a blue van anywhere. He and Hitomi started making their way down towards Shibuya Station. Hitomi muttered to herself, I don't see it parked around here. Her face twisted up with worry. It was a lot harder to find street parking closer to the station. Hitomi, hold up! Archie had a sudden idea. He darted into a nearby soba restaurant, motioning for Hitomi to follow. Oh shit, did I do it again? Hey, he called to the proprietress, a sharp-eyed middle-aged woman. She doesn't look that old. You're looking as lovely as ever today, I see. Oh, Archie! Are you done collecting trash for the day? The lady took a look at Hitomi, her eyes lighting up. Maki Yoneda. When she was 19, she happened to stop by this place and was captivated by the chill curry soba. By day's end, she had decided to make the restaurant her new home, married the owner at age 22, and they had managed the establishment together. Last year, her husband of 30 years passed away. Wait. Oh, sorry, yeah, that was a long time ago. Now she safeguards the generation-old secret of chilled curry soba on her own. She doesn't look 52. Is this your girlfriend? Huh? Oh no, it's nothing like that. The proprietress was undeterred. Oh, she just looks like a model. She's the spitting image of me at that age. My, Archie's got himself a girlfriend. I said it's not like that. The woman waved Hitomi over. It's like, I'm you in the future. Now, you know Archie's got a bit of a mouth on him, but he's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but he's a sweet boy. Okay. Hitomi forced out a polite smile on her face. These photos. He'll try to deny it, but don't you listen. What's shit? Has he told you about Suzanne? Matt, please. She jumped in on the conversation. You gotta hear me out. Whatever's the matter? I'm just trying to talk up your good points. It's just intensifying every scene. Have you seen a van parked around here? A van? Let me think. Yes, come to think of it, there was. A blue one, she added confidently. Hitomi leaned forward. Where is it now? She asked. Well, I'm not really sure. I don't keep a close eye on things outside, after all. Hitomi slumped. I see. I know it doesn't look it, but I've been quite busy today. The man who makes my noodles came by earlier to settle accounts, and we fought and fought over it. Now, no head for finances, that one. That's his problem, honestly. And on top of that, of course, my part-timer Masa has to have his day off today. Honestly. First-year student at Midoriyama Academy. A sweet young man who works as a part-time delivery driver for Dog and Hut and sends all his leftover money to his mother out of the country. Lately, however, he's gotten himself a girlfriend and he's been sending money back home less frequently. His noodle house job doesn't pay enough to both support his mother and cover his dating expenses, so he's scheming for a way to make it rich quick. Archie frowned. Had she really been seeing a blue van, or was she just being chatty? Older women who ran tobacco shops or noodle houses did seem to have a knack for spotting details, but women of our age weren't always the most Alright. Let's trust her. Older women who ran tobacco shops or noodle houses did seem to have a knack for spotting details. The big two also. Archie decided to follow up some more. Was there anything unusual about the van? Well, let me think. The woman frowned, pausing a thought. Aha! A flash of recollection shone in her eye. That's right, now I remember. I think there was some foreigner sitting inside. Archie and Hitomi exchanged glances. Yes, I'm sure of it. The man who makes my noodles says he saw it too. Was there anything else? Hitomi asked. Not that I can remember. Hitomi hung her head in frustration as they left the soba shop. Archie did his best to cheer her up. Hey, we might still find that car. Let's try waiting around here for a while. Just waiting? What good will that do? It's possible they went looking for you when you didn't show, Archie said. Maybe they'll come back, you know? He sat down on the edge of a planter outside the restaurant. Wow, she's taller than him. He's gone to manlet size. But the criminals already have the money, she said anxiously. Even Archie understood the implications of diving in too deep, and possibly the complications. Especially at night, I worry about the situations. Nah, the crooks had the ransom. Their hostage was nothing but a liability. Why take the risk of letting her go when they already had what they wanted? The situation was bad, very bad. Still, just running around Shibuya willy-nilly was only going to tire and frustrate them. Archie wanted to make sure Hitomi had the chance for a little break. Hey, I'm just doing any, promotion I can for, Overkill by Men at Work, which is obviously just way too underrated compared to their two other slightly more well-known songs. Sorry. Exactly. And, I mean, it's whenever I see the word implications, I just think of Overkill by Men at Work. We don't have any time anywhere else to look, so let's just give them 10 minutes, okay? Hitomi seemed unconvinced. She looked like she might be just march off down Dogenzaka at any moment. I understand how you must feel, but you know what they say. Slow and steady, stay in peace. Hitomi burst out laughing. What's so funny? It's slow and steady wins the race. It's a weird face. For real? Hitomi smiled and sat down beside him. Alright, she said. We can wait here for 10 minutes. Cool. We've run enough races today already, right? Hitomi kept her eyes on the cars passing through Dogenzaka for a while. Then she murmured softly to Archie. Thank you so much for everything, really. You can thank me after we find this van. I'm sure if I'd been by myself, I would have been in too much of a panic to do anything. What can I say? I try to keep my head up and face things as they come. You're quite the optimist, aren't you? Archie grinned. He tried to recall what optimist meant. He was pretty sure it was something to do with doctors, or maybe glasses. Unfortunately, he does not have, the tips. The shy, sweet look on Hitomi's face as she said it, though, made him figure it probably wasn't a bad thing, whatever it was. Durka emote is obviously one day. I wonder if I'd got an emote, I assume I wouldn't get the rights to just the Durka thing. It'll probably there's probably someone else who has it already. cars drifted on by, one after the other, but they saw no sign of a blue van. After a while, even Archie began to grow impatient. I don't know if I want that. This was starting to feel like a waste of time, and then... Tell me, look. There it was. Oh. I don't know if I want Dirk up. Yeah. Alright. I guess I gotta do Kano's story now. Which means I can finally take a break on weird voices. Maybe. As he wandered through the back alleys, Kano gritted his teeth. Going after the guy on the bike had been a bad judgment call. By the time he got back onto the pedestrian overpass, the man who threw in the attaché case was almost out of sight. Kano prided himself on being fleet of foot, but he knew even he would never be able to catch to the guy before he disappeared. I didn't know there had to be 6 letters. He'd followed the culprit as far as the alleys, but they'd been there, he'd lost him completely. All he could do now was hope one of his colleagues caught the man on the motorcycle. But then I can't do a Durka S emote because like it's just it'd be Durkas S and that's just Durkas. Kuzo's voice crackled through the earpiece. Mobile command center, calling all units. The suspect on the motorcycle has handed off. The suspect on the motorcycle has handed off the case to an accomplice in Yashida Park, another foreigner. For real? Kano muttered. Sorry, we gotta. Okay. Well, I mean, I just need everyone to watch this stream. I just need 71 more viewers. One thing immediately struck him as strange. Why hand the case off to someone else at all? Why not just escape on the bike? The man with the motorcycle dumped the bike and fled on foot. We've retrieved the bike and run the plate. We've determined it was a stolen vehicle. The advanced police communication system is carefully maintained. By using the digital wireless systems in their patrol cars, officers are able to directly access the station's computer network, allowing them to quickly check if an individual is on a wanted list or the vehicle is stolen. That is a weird description. We still don't have enough details to positively identify the suspect. The suspect, now carrying the attaché case, is heading through Dogenzaka, also on foot. Dogenzaka, of course. We've got him under observation. Dogenzaka. That wasn't too far away from where Kano was now. It looks like we're dealing with a foreign crime syndicate that's familiar with Shibuya. All units, head to Dogenzaka. I repeat, do not attempt to apprehend the suspect with the case. Let's see where he goes. Kano nodded to himself. Without knowing more about the crook's MO, letting this guy go, for now, was probably the only right call. I just wanted you all to know one last thing. Kuze's tone grew more solemn. Whatever happens, I know I can count on each and every one of you. Don't disappoint me. Over and out! Kano had the unsettling feeling that the message should be meant for him. Right, it's now or never. The sudden appearances of this syndicate and its bizarre actions were rapidly moving things beyond the jurisdiction of both the MPD and the local police. Mustering his resolve, Kano headed for Dogenzaka. Oh, I know what's gonna happen, actually. Well, no, one thing is gonna happen. Kano pulled his cell phone out of his pocket. It was Rumi calling. She knew full well he wasn't supposed to take private calls while he was working a case. Maybe it was an emergency. He decided to pick up. Rumi? I'm sorry. Are you in the middle of something right now? Kind of. Is this an emergency? Well, yeah. So I'm in Shibuya right now and... Shibuya? Why did she have to be in Shibuya now, of all times? So, my father came down from Nagano all of a sudden. What? Rumi's father, Shizuo, had been staunchly opposed to the two of them getting married. Kano had visited his home many times, but the man had never even deigned to meet him. Yeah, he told me he wants to meet with you. What now? That face. Kano blurted the words out with more alarm than he intended. I told him you were busy working, but he said he'd wait. This can't be happening, Kano whimpered to himself. I'm sorry, but I know he can be demanding. That's not the issue. Her dad offered to wait to make it harder for him to refuse. Alright, Kano said. But I'll have to call you back later, okay? I really am sorry. I'll be at a cafe called Lautrec. It's by the train station. Rumi hung up. For a long moment, Kano stood in a daze, staring at his phone. I assumed it was you. As if keeping the case wasn't stressful enough. At last, he stumbled into motion. But even as he scoured Dogenzaka for any sign of the criminal, his mind remained fixed on meeting with Rumi's dad. There was no way of knowing when he'd be done with his casework today. But could he really pass up a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get her father's approval for her hand in the marriage? Odds are this will not be the only once-in-a-lifetime experience Detective Kano winds up having today. That's not a definition. Maybe he could slip away for just a bit. There were plenty of detectives still tailing the suspect. Taking 15 minutes or so to meet with Shizuo wouldn't be such a big deal, would it? Let's do it. It's now or never, Kano decided. His future happiness depended on winning over Shizuo. He might not have the opportunity later if the kidnapping case wound up going south. He'd just have to make sure he didn't linger too long. He was trying to decide the best way to save as much time as possible when he caught sight of a taxi passerby. Here we go! This is the life or death situation. He stepped out into the street to flag the cab down. The station wasn't too far away, but it would be faster to take a car than run there. The taxi screeched to a halt. Careful, buddy! Shouted the cab driver through the open window, whose voice I forgot. You're gonna get yourself killed! Looking more closely, Kano saw there was already someone in the back seat. Oh, crap. He hadn't considered the cab might already be taken. Still, he didn't have time to wait for another one to come along. Kano leaned in close to the back door of the taxi. Please, I need to let me have this cab. Beggars couldn't be choosers after all. No way! Snapped the passenger. He didn't seem like the genial type. Please, I'm begging you here. Look, I'm in a hurry, pal. Get your own cab. I know how ridiculous this must sound, but please, this is really, really urgent. Urgent? Yes, it's a matter of life or death. Please. Look, I'm sorry, but I'm dealing with something urgent here too. Is this like a slightly different photo? I feel like you could see his eyes in the previous one. Then let me ride with you. I'll pay for the whole fare. My entire future's on the line here. Sorry, buddy. It's life or death on my end here too. I gotta look after me and mine. Kano could see this was going nowhere. Right. So sorry to trouble you. Kano stepped back into frustration. The taxi sped away. Kano scanned the area, looking for other cabs. Instead, he spotted the man with the attaché case. Well, that's convenient. Yeah, that too. It was a stroke of dumb luck, but Kano wasn't going to lose sight of him now. He decided to follow. Further up along Dogenzaka, in the direction of the perp it was heading, was the Yamatedori joined Route 246. Maybe the guy was planning to meet up with a getaway car. No, wait, hold on. If that were the plan, why would the gang have ditched the motorcycle earlier? Kano started tailing the man, racking his brain after all the while. The suspect had turned down a narrow side road. He wasn't headed towards Yamatedori or Route 246 at all, but back towards Shibuya Station. What in the world was going on? It was starting to feel like the crooks were just messing with the investigation team. I see you've done the maths, except I don't know if you know this, but 428 is like another way of reading the kanji for Shibuya. As was explained in the previous hour of this thing. Kano radioed Kuze on the wireless. The police wireless system is digital in order to make transmissions more difficult to intercept. There are several different channels available, including the basic local channel, a common channel for contacting nearby patrol cars, channels assigned to specific precincts, action update channels for riot squads, and so on. There is also a separate channel specifically for kidnapping cases, not on the standard wavelengths. Sir, I don't think there's any point in seeing where this guy leads us anymore. That's not your call to make. Keep watching him. Sir, this is a waste of time. That girl might be in danger if... Kano's argument was cut short as when he saw another man hand off the attaché case to yet another foreigner. Oh, it's like there are different readings of the same kanji. Again? How many times were the criminals going to pull off this trick? The detectives broke into two groups to follow both of the men. I can't wait to open the briefcase and it has a CRT in it. Kano followed the man with the attaché case, who eventually led him back to the area around Shibuya Station. Rumi and Shizuo should be waiting at a nearby cafe right now. Kano tried to remember the name. That's right, it was called Lautrec. The name of the cafe, where college student Ryoko Kakinuma works as a waitress. Named for a 19th century French painter, Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec, he created numerous works, including many posters, books, illustrations, and book covers which are highly regarded in the art world. He kept his eye out for a place by that name as he tailed the target. Before long, he did spot the cafe. Its large plate glass window offered a view of the cozy interior. The sign out the front said Lautrec. Actually, wait. Torec. I don't understand how the front of it says law, but I'll take it. Actually, wait. La. I think I had to do that in katakana. Looked like this was the place. The man with the case was at the intersection, waiting for the light to change. Kano took the opportunity to peer inside. He spotted Rumi right away. She was facing away from him, so the man seated across from her must be her father. Kano realized he'd never even seen a picture of him. Shizuru grew organic produce up in Nagano nowadays, but until 2 years ago, he'd been a detective with the Investigation Division. MPD, Investigative Division, responsible for handling crimes such as murder, kidnapping, and arson which take place within the Tokyo metropolis. Truly exceptional officers are assigned this division. They are regularly dispatched to various regional task forces to aid in investigations, where their talents and experience often prove critical. The position of section chief is traditionally given to only those dedicated personnel well versed with crime scenes and organizational administration. There's a lot of long words in that one. Actually, wait. Oh yeah. Rumi looked up to her father for his distinguished police career and always spoke quite highly of him. Kano figured if he became that policeman, Rumi might appreciate that. Is he just becoming a cop to impress her? No problem. I know it's late and all that. This is the best time for me to stream, I think. Have a good night. It was a simple impulse that led him to join the force. He had also figured the public servants could stay afloat, even in times of recession, and that his physical training would serve him well in such a line of work. Once he was a policeman, he thought he could approach Shizuo with his head held high and ask for his blessing in marrying his daughter. What if I just turned off my notifications? But after Ruby graduated from university, Shizuo had up and retired from police work. Even Rumi didn't know why he'd made the decision. Kano had travelled to Nagano many times to ask Shizuo for permission to marry her. But the only response he ever got was, "I'm not giving away my daughter to any cop." Kano had never gotten past the intercom before her father turned him away. Years on the force had nearly made Kano lose sight of what had driven him to become a policeman in the first place. And now, the chance to meet Shizuo face to face had finally come. He peered intently into the cafe. Across from Rumi sat an older man with a grim expression. Just who was this hard-faced fellow? It took a lot to rattle Kano, but the guy looked scary. Could this really be his sweet little Rumi's father? The prospect of meeting with him later filled Kano with sudden dread. The man went into the JR Shibuya station and stood before the ticket machine. It looked like he was planning on boarding a train. A scene from a popular movie about kidnapping sprang into Kano's mind, where the crook had made off with the ransom money after it was tossed out the window of a train. What if this guy managed to get outside the dragnet and pull a stunt like that? It looks like the suspect is going to board a train. Kano informed Kuze over the wireless. Make sure you stay on his tail. Apparently, Kuze still wanted to string the purple along for a while. We've got the lizards ready to pursue. Japanese police lingo for motorcycle squad deployed to pursue suspects in urban settings. We'll re-establish our dragnet around whatever station he gets off at. Craigasm? The man purchased a ticket from the machine and passed through the gate. There was no way to tell what station he bought a ticket for, but it looked like he was heading clockwise along the Yamanote loop. Kano used his prepaid card and made his way for the ticket gate as well. Officers do not actually get free rides on public transportation simply by flashing their badges, as is frequently depicted on TV shows and films. Doing so might risk alerting the suspect. For this reason, prepaid cards are provided ahead of time. An announcement chime signalled the imminent arrival of a train up the platform. The man made his way up the stairs, looking calm and composed. He showed no sign of checking for pursuers. Kano hurried after him. The man stopped at the very edge of the platform to await the train. Not ideal. There was no way for Kano to get close without sticking out like a sore thumb. The train glided up to the platform. The man gave a quick look around as he stepped aboard. Kano followed. Trains on the Yamanote line didn't stop for long, and soon they were on their way. Glancing around, Kano noticed other MPD investigators who had slipped aboard the train as well. The suspect stood behind the driver's compartment, staring contemplatively. I'm not sure how to stress that one. I've never had to say that word. At the scenery outside. Contemplatively? Maybe. The man's composure only served to rattle Kano more. A man in a gaudy necktie walked past Kano, talking on his cell phone. Yes, everything's gone fine on this end, he said. There's no need to worry. On his other hand, he carried the same sort of attaché case as the man they were tailing. He headed right towards the driver's compartment and stood next to the suspect. Well, now that's not suspicious. Hey, Oya. We've just been having fun times with Archie and now Kano. Yes, of course. 225 pages, or fully proofread. 225? Article 225 of the Penal Code of Japan details kidnapping for profit and kidnapping for ransom. Accordingly, 225 is police shorthand for kidnapping. This seems like a coincidence. That was police jargon for kidnapping, because I read the tips as well. Was this guy in cahoots with the kidnapper? Maybe the criminals had planned an attaché case swap. On the Archie timeline, I told the people about the guy who they're going to loan shark, because I thought I may as well do the wrong thing first. I gave a guy I just met some garbage. I met up with some old gang people, and I forget how it ended. But it ended on like a suspenseful moment or something. Kano watched the newcomer like a hawk. But rather than making contact with the suspect, the man turned around and strolled back the way he came. He hadn't done anything suspicious at all. Yes, right. Understood. Kano caught a glimpse of the man's face as he passed. He stopped and looked at Kano, seemingly aware he was being watched. Kano decided to... Let's do the wrong thing first, surely. Kano decided to stare him down. My apologies, the man said. He shut his phone with a click. I know it's rather rude to talk on one's cell phone when you're on a train. That's just common decency. Or maybe this is the right thing. The man affected a smile, then headed back to the car from which he came. Sheesh. Guess I overreacted. You gotta stop staring at everyone, an oddly dressed passenger murmured into Kano's ear. blend into your surroundings more. Sasayama, when did you get here? I just said Sasayama. His partner had somehow found the time to change his disguise. The steely expression on his face was at odds to his anime nerd getup. Kano had seen Sasayama disguise himself as plenty of things throughout the years. It's quite rare for Sasayama to actually wear a suit. On the rare occasions when he does, he's walking the halls of his home precinct. He frequently goes unrecognized. Here are some of Sasayama's costume designs from his evidence notebook. Santa is a must for Christmas, stakeouts with a smile, keep presents in bag to calm down children in case of emergency. Use this for train stakeouts, don't forget the awkward smile, bag of merch going too far. Filled with posters and figurines, glasses are crucial, prized possession clutched to chest. Point is to draw attention in crowded train cars. Tragic expression, sunglasses, suit and posture amplify wild animal side. Disguises for stakeout at dockside warehouse. Let co-workers know beforehand so as to not be mistaken for a real thing. Handcuffs and sleeves. Arrest crooks while practicing discipline. Might help to stop funeral robbers. For nighttime stakeouts, plenty of exposure. Hardcore material. Emphasis bulginess in fun of it. Sasayama is great. Chef, magician, samurai, and an astronaut, to name a few. But this was a new extreme even for him. When he first joined the force, Kano had found Sasayama's costuming antics amusing. Wondering where he found the time, managed to find his outfits, but lately this quirk had become tedious. You like the ocean? Huh? Never mind. I can't remember what I did for Sasayama's voice, but I think it's what I'm doing for Archie's voice. Sasayama pulled a small bottle from his breast pocket. Drink this while you can! Guessing you haven't eaten. Huh? What is this? The least I could do! He handed Kanan the bottle that slipped away into the next compartment. I did give Sasayama the bottle. He pulled an all-nighter and hadn't eaten, so he was glad to have something. He took a sip. Whatever this was, it was bland. It almost didn't taste like anything. Just what had Sasayama given him? What the heck, anything's better than nothing. He brought the bottle down to his lips and plugged the contents down. Chugged. He suddenly got a massive head rush. He felt a heat like a burning that spread from his insides inside his whole body. Insides throughout his whole body. No, that wasn't right. It was an ache. It was a ferocious ache. A burning that spread from his insides to his fingertips, and there was pain. A numbing that spread from his insides all the way down to his toes. Burning, aching, hurting. So basically everyone is ruining everyone's timelines right now. Burning, aching, hurting. Burning, aching, hurting. Twitchy, itchy, dizzy, sleepy, chilly, willy-nilly. This was not good. This was super duper not good. He broke into a cold sweat, his forehead drenched, his body damp and clammy all over. He felt his grip on consciousness slipping. Sasayama, what the hell did you do to me? I'm curious, like, it's interesting to see the ways that they come about, because, like, this is kind of unexpected. He squinted to read the writing on the bottle. There is just a whole lot of, this person just happens to be in this situation every single time. But, after a scant few timelines, Kano blacked out. Kano blacked out after drinking an unknown substance without checking to see what it was. When he drank, it turns out it was just a free sample of something called Burning Hammer. But don't blame Sasayama, he was just passing along the sample he got from someone in a mascot costume. And I know who that was. I kind of wonder if, like, it would have been better to do Kano and Archie's timelines first, because they kind of interact with people in more unexpected ways. Like, you would have done this and then been confused of, like, wait, what? And then you realize, oh, I gave it to him. And also I might not have realized that it was a playable character who was in the cab. And of course, I wouldn't have realized that I told the loan shark where to go. So I've now reached an ending on every timeline. I'm wondering who I should fix first. Maybe I will fix Archie's decision with the guys. I think it's this one. I don't have thought of these two guys following Hitomi and me. Archie pointed them in the opposite direction from Santa Go. Pretty sure it was that way, he said. Thanks, man. Sorry to bug you. The two men headed off toward the main road. I've given them a different voice every single time, I think. I wonder if this changes Archie's timeline, though. Can I just skip this? Which button was it? Apparently not. Okay. Archie and Hitomi hurried onward, following the sparsely traffic side steps towards Dogazaka. I don't think I even knew this part of Shibuya was here, Hitomi said as she looked around. Yeah, a lot of people don't. I used to mess around in this neighborhood when I was a kid. The area is a mishmash of run-down residences and office buildings. Almost no one comes here unless they live or work on these streets. And check it out, over there, there's a rare case of first-hand... Wait, is it definitely, like, right trigger to do this? Oh, no, it's down, that's right. Wait, was it? Is this just the same then? Is that what it's trying to say? Wait, what does the book mean on this? Is that in the... But what does it mean, like, Oh, okay. But is that significant? Okay. I'm guessing that didn't change Archie's timeline then. At least not yet. Women of her age weren't always the most reliable. Archie wanted to make absolutely sure. You swear you really saw it? Of course I did. Why would I lie about something like that? The proprietress let out an annoyed huff. I'm not much fond of lying, or of being cold of lying. Ah, hey, I didn't mean it like that, really. Sorry to bother you. Hitomi hung her head in frustration as they left the soba shop. Archie did his best to cheer her up. Hey, we might still find that car. Let's try waiting around here for a while. Just waiting? What good will that do? It's possible they went looking for you when you didn't show, Archie said. Wait, is this still the same? Weird. Cars drifted on one after another, but they showed no sign of a blue van. After a while, even Archie began to grow impatient. This was starting to feel like a waste of time. And then... Tell me, look. There it was. It seems weird that there's little agency in Archie's story at the moment. But now that he's done that, we can go back to here. Wait, there's a choice here? I guess so. Oh yeah, this. And then I remember something. The zipper down my back may be busted, but I could still take the head off, right? That way, I'd at least be able to eat and drink stuff. Alright! I decided to... we'll try something different, I guess. I feel like they're all going to be the same nothing, though. Maybe this will, like, give me a concussion or something. I decided to rock my head back and forth, good and hard. What gives? It won't get me free no matter how hard I try to buck it off. And to make things worse, now I've got this throbbing pain in the back of my head. Like, I bumped my head somewhere, but I don't really remember doing that recently. Cherry flashes me a curious look. What are you doing? She asks. I thought maybe, I could at least get the head off now. I tried pulling again, refusing to give up. That ain't gonna work. The thing's attached to the body. Okay, I've read this stuff before, haven't I? It doesn't let you skip stuff you've already read, I assume. But hey, a job's a job, Cherry says after a moment, parking up again. They tell me to sell this junk, I'll sell it. Yeah, okay. The door flies open and suddenly a loud voice belts out. Hold it right there! Oh, it's someone else. Yeah, I mean, it's not letting me press down right now. I whirl around in a panic to see an odd-looking man standing in the doorway. It's Junichi Yanagishita. Or Yanagishita. He's the guy who hired us. I heard that, Cherry. Don't you go calling my product junk. That's disrespectful. Cherry gave him an apologetic look. Whoops, sorry about that. You should be, but whatever. If you really have doubts, have a try for yourself. Mr. Yanagishita pulls a bottle of burning hammer from his coat pocket. Sister products include Del Sweats, Cellulose, Better Sweater, Dom Pepperon, Powerburn Z, Mr. Thin, Nega Chow, Super Nega Chow. At first glance, it looks like some kind of energy supplement, but the cheapo label gives an immediate impression of sketchiness. Go on, says Mr. Yanagishita. Give it a go. Cherry reaches out to take it. But no sooner does she grab the bottle than Mr. Yanagishita shouts out once more. Wait, hold on! Well, Cherry says, oh, what gives? You two, you're both good stomach-wise. Stomach-wise? Yeah, drinking this stuff on an empty stomach can cause some pretty nasty problems. So just make sure you eat or drink something beforehand, doesn't matter what really. I like that he doesn't tell them this before he starts telling them to sell it. Wait, nasty problems? Yeah. Such as what? I asked. I'd rather not say. Nobody would buy it otherwise. Seriously? It's all good. It's all good. I just had lunch, Cherry says. She flashes a carefree smile. Well, I haven't eaten yet. On the other hand, I've been guzzling up as much iced tea as I can to fill myself up. It's probably safe for me to try this stuff. Let's give it a go. I may as well try it. In for a penny, in for a pound. But hey, maybe it'll help me lose some weight. I stick the bottle of burning hammer into my mascot head and mouth. It has an unexpected smell, like curry. Getting my own lips around the mouth of the bottle, I gulp down the liquid inside. Huh? It doesn't taste like anything. A handful of seconds go by. What the heck? It feels like a firecracker just exploded inside my mouth. Now that's spicy. Way too spicy. It's like I just swallowed a chili pepper coated in curry powder. Before I know it, I'm sweating bullets. Well, you sweating? Mr. Yanagishita asked. Like a whole lot, huh? You aren't you? Why does he sound so happy about that? What an expression. That right there is the magic of burning hammer at work. Cheery and I are at a loss for words. Burning hammer! Drink all you want and just burn those pounds away. How's that sound? Good, huh? This is just so stupid spicy it makes you sweat, Cherry bursts out. Blunt and to the point. I approve. Yeah! Well, I guess you're right, Yanagishita says. He hangs his head. What is in the stuff? I ask. I can still feel my tongue tingling. Heck, my body is almost too numb to move. I'm so shocked I even forget to get properly angry. So it's this health food product that got imported from America a few years back, Yanagishita explains. But the import agency went out of business not long after, and I couldn't move the merch. So I bought up the whole lot. Everything they had in their storehouse. Spent all the money I had on it. Shuri arches an eyebrow. How much did it cost you? She asks. 1 million yen for 300 bottles. I can scarcely believe my ears. 300 bottles at 1 million yen for the lot. That's roughly 3,333 yen a piece. Each one of these teensy little bottles costs over 3,000 yen. You got ripped off, man, Shuri says. You really think so? Huh, yeah, you're probably right. He hangs his head even more despondently. This is the sort of thing they sell in 100 yen shops or something. Ouch, Shuri moving in for the kill. 100 yen shops? Really? Mr. Yanagishita lets out the heaviest of sighs and the deepest of sorrows. No, shadows. I'm starting to feel pretty bad for the guy, actually. Don't let it get you down, sir. I say, hoping to comfort him. Mr. Yanagishita lets out a sob-choked sigh. Oh shit, I missed it. A deep breath emphatically... Why is this a 428 word? Emphatically exhaled. Often a sign of disappointment, stress, or unrequited love. Also a way of expressing the anxiety brought on by massive debt. One has no money to give, only sighs. Right now, Minoru Minorikawa is in the company of someone inclined to sigh this way. Oh! Interesting. I did not think there'd be a jump hidden in a hint. I need to remember that. I try again. It'll be okay, whether or not it helps you lose weight, yeah. It is spicy and it does make you sweat, yeah. I'm not sure I follow, Shuri says. How much are you selling these bottles for, boss? 15,000 yen per bottle. Selling all 3,300 bottles would yield proceeds of 4.5 million yen. After deducting expenses such as the cost of the product, rental fee for the venue, pay for the part-timers, and printing flyers, this yields a net profit of roughly 2.5 million yen. It's doubtful that anyone would pay 15,000 yen for a single small bottle, but you never know. There could be a few housewives or young women out there who fork out that much in the name of weight loss. A terrifying thought. What? Shuri's jaw practically hit the floor. Mine does the same. No way. Nuh-uh. No freaking way. Calling that price point absurd wouldn't begin to do it justice. Well, look, selling it at that price is my only option. I need to cover up my costs. Anyway, please, I need you both to work your hardest. Apparently he's committed to this insane course of action. Okay, Shuri replies. It's more like a sigh than a proper response. I like how he needs to sell these all ridiculous, but he's also giving out free samples. It's more like a sigh than a proper response, but I can't blame her. As for me, I can't... I can't just sit there and not speak up. Isn't this just a scam, sir? Yeah. Sorry, can't hear you. Yanagishita plays dumb. Fine, I repeat myself. This is a scam, isn't it? Yeah. He tilts his head to one side. Something's wrong with my ear. Deterred, I repeat myself once more. This is a scam, isn't it? Tears are welling up in Mr. Yanagishita's eyes. Look, kid, he says huskily. Listen up. He's clearly struggling to maintain his calm. You're in the grown-ups world now. I nod a few times. But a scam is still a scam, right? Yeah, I say. You! Sir? What's your name again? Oh, it's Tama. Okay, Tama, why are you still wearing a costume? Well, he straight up dodged my question. Well, at least I tried. I explained the situation with my suit. Wow, so then, are you really going to do the sales demo like that? The sounds seem fun to me. Let me play the stream. Oh, I can't do it now, there's no music. I'll wait for the music to come back, then I'll try it. Well, If I can't take the masky costume off, I don't have much of a choice, do I? No, that won't do at all. I hired you to be a model. It might be something wrong with the stream. If you're wearing that thing, then what's the point? I'm at a loss for words. The point is exactly what he's missing. It's not like I'm wearing this getup because I want to. How about we just cut it off here? Cherry says with a big grin. She pulls a massive pair of scissors out of her bag. The blades make an unsettling snip snip and sound as she woggles them in my face. Whoa, no, you can't do that, Miss Yanagish exclaims. That's just a rental. I don't want to have to reimburse them for the whole thing. Well then, what am I supposed to do, I ask. He looks at me uncertainly. Maybe you could have someone from the rental place come down, Cherry suggests, before helping herself to the rest of my lunch. Oh hey, good idea, Yanagish says. He seems to be making an effort to calm himself down at least. Just try to grin and bear it till then, Tama. Well, I guess that's that then. I'm sure we'll get it off eventually, I say. Hopefully before the demo. No, that's the spirit. I really need you to be my model. A model, huh? It's flattering, but I can't help but wonder, would I be any good at that? Well, it's no time to be timid. I need that money, no matter what. My troubles all started earlier this morning. Are we getting the flashback to Tama's 10 AM? I was at a knick-knack shop on Centre Guy. Hang on, I will just stop talking for a moment, and then I will check the stream. It sounds fine to me. I'd happened to pass by and I stopped a red necklace on display in the storefront, and I got this weird sensation when I saw it. What do you mean by that? Is it like overlapping itself, or is it just like feeling broken, or... You could call it maybe deja vu, something like that. It was as if I'd been drawn to it somehow. This was mine. I was sure of it. So, but she had to save up money, and she bought it for her sister's birthday. But then, when he withdrew the money, he was never seen again. Although someone thinks they might have seen him at a train station. Also, it just happened to be on the night of Watanagashi. I mean, the audio track does replay. I wanted it. No, I needed to make it mine. As soon as I possibly could. That's how strong the feeling was. The price was 40,000 yen. I checked my wallet repeatedly, but I only had 20,000 on me. Enough to buy a bottle. Nonetheless, I needed to have it. There was just one question. How? Just put a rain check on it. Somehow, I managed to drag myself from the shop. Just a few minutes later, I walked into Mr. Yanagishita. Hey, a voice said out of nowhere. If you want, I can pay you 10,000 for a day's work. I found myself staring at this frumpy middle-aged man who was handing me his business card. Managing Director Junichi Yanagishita, Yamato Health Foods Company Limited. I'm in a real bind here, need some extra help. Would you mind coming along with me? I'm just begging you, just one day. He seemed pretty sketchy. As much as I needed money for that necklace, I wasn't going anywhere with some random weirdo. I ignored him and tried to just walk off. Please! Please! I like how they're gonna never show us a picture of her, are they? Yanagishi grabbed me by the hand. What's your pal? I snapped. Hands off or I start shouting for help. Please, it's not like that. Just hear me out. Look, I'm in a hurry. Please, please, please. Knock it off. I spun forcefully away from him, yanking my hand from his grip. Oh, there we go. We can see it now. Kind of. Yanagishi whirled through the air and fell into the bushes. What if she's the other girl? What if she's Hitomi's sister? Which makes no sense, but like it's just a crazy plot twist. Whoa, where did that come from? He gasped. His eyes were as wide as saucers. You a martial artist or something? No, I think that was just a fluke. The truth was, I was surprised myself at how well I'd pulled that escape move. Okay then. Look, I'm sorry. Can you give me a hand? No way. No way. No, I mean, give me your hand. My hip's killing me here. I guess the least I could do was help the guy get to his feet. Why are you handing me so much? Please, don't be angry. The moment I saw you, I just felt it. You're the only person who could possibly do this job for me. I let out a sigh, but my interest was immediately piqued. So also now we learn that we are responsible for why he has a bandage on his face. What kind of job? I need a sales rep for a health supplement. I want you to do PR as a dieting success story for my product. Just look at you. You have the body of an actress. Sales are going to go through the roof. Well, it was hard to feel too offended when he told me that. The job didn't seem as fishy as I'd initially suspected. Alright, maybe I'm interested, I said, but there's just one thing. Yeah, whatever it is, I'm sure I can handle it. I need 20,000 yen as soon as possible. So if the day only pays 10,000... Alright then, if you could sell 100 bottles at our sales event, I'll throw in another 10,000 as a bonus. How does that sound? I certainly could think of any other way I was going to earn 20,000 yen in a single day. This might be exactly the break I needed. You've got a deal. You have my services for the day, I said, bowing my head. Yes! He's just a weird looking dude in general. Yanagishi. She jumped for joy. What about your hip? Huh? Oh yeah, it's better now, better. Fixed by itself. No. Yanagishi bowed deeply as I gave him a dubious look. That's more of a clear photo of her. Look, I'm sorry, he added hurriedly. I wasn't trying to pull a fast one on you, honest. Now I wonder if the girl in the Steam picture is her or it's Hitomi. I can't tell, to be honest. I was just scouting for the talent and I saw you and, well, was trusting this guy really the best idea? I started to worry just a little about whether he'd actually pay up. Look, I've staked everything on this sales demo later today, he went on. This is a make or break opportunity of a lifetime. Sure. I'll be honest with you, I'm in a ton of debt. 2 million yen. 2 million! Yanagishi's tone had taken on a feverish intensity. If I don't pay it back by the end of the day, then boy howdy am I up the creek without a paddle. How did you even get into a situation like that? I asked. He gazed skyward, a far-off look in his eyes. Because even if he knows, he has no chance of winning. Sometimes a man just has to stand and fight. But I guess a girl like you wouldn't understand. He laughed and smiled at his own words, but he was right. I sure as heck didn't understand in the slightest. Anyway, real quick, could you put this on? Where'd he get that from? Was he just lying there? Mr. Yanagishi briskly rummaged through his bindle? Then thrust a cat costume out toward me. What? Here? Yeah, before the sales event you gotta hand out some samples. The burning hammer in the sample bottles is cut 10 parts to 1 with water. Even so, it is intensely spicy. And drinking it on an empty stomach is sure to cause gastrointestinal distress, or even make the drinker black out. It's hard to believe that a sample of something so dangerous would win over any customers, but you never know. There could be some housewives or young women out there who accept such a risk in the name of weight loss. Another terrifying thought. The job's already started, you know? And with that, Mr. Yanagishi went about getting me into the mascot suit. I like how he's saying, like, you're the perfect body type, except also now we're going to put a suit on you anyway. Looking back on it, it was a pretty ridiculous turn of events. Still, if I was going to get my hands on that necklace, I'd have I had to take the chance that this job would pay out. I doubt we're gonna sell even a single bottle of this crap, Sherry whispered in my ear. I'll just have to do the best I can, yeah, I say. I say it more to myself than to anyone else. Once again, I ask myself, why am I in such a rush to get this necklace anyway? I honestly don't know. It's the strangest thing. I try my hardest to think of a reason, but all I get is a dull, aching throb at the back of my head. It's the same pain I felt earlier, as if I'd gotten a good bonk on the head or something. I know the next thing I'll do is I'll change Kano's path, and so he doesn't go to the taxi maybe. This is chronologically just flat out incorrect, but I guess you could take it as it's her thoughts. I do feel like we're gonna have to head to the cafe at one point though. Where's the decision? Oh shit, I've skipped it, haven't I? I've picked the wrong one. No, this is the right one. Where was it then? Was I supposed to pick... Wait, if I pick it this one, do I just go straight to it? Was that what I did last time? Hang on. Okay, I must have to... I'll go back a step. Okay, I swear I didn't see this before. Oh shit, this was the right... I should have just read it. Okay. I'll get this right eventually. No, right now I've got a job to focus on. Kano shook his head to clear out the foolish impulses. What the hell had he been thinking? A girl's life was on the line. Marrying Rumi was more important to him than anything, but now wasn't the time. Besides, now that he thought about it, running on a critical investigation to meet with the old man probably wasn't going to score him any points. Rumi's dad didn't strike him as someone who'd approve of shirking one's responsibilities. Kano would just have to wrap up this kidnapping case a little ahead of schedule, then he could have a proper sit-down with Shizuo. As he considered his plan, he caught sight of a man with an attaché case walking by. Amazing how he finds them in two places. Further up along Dogenzake in the direction of the perp headed... Oh wait, no, maybe this is the same. Okay, so I guess his story stays the same either way. So he really was just being a troll to Minorukawa, I can't remember his name, for no reason. I guess I'll do the other one then. Though it's possible this won't do anything either. Volcano decided to look away nonchalantly, but his anxiety got the better of him, and after a moment he turned his gaze right back. Soon the two men were locked in a staring contest. Oh. Okay, that's a decision that doesn't seem to matter. Or does it? I don't need to actually read this, do I? Minorikawa's frantic journey had started 20 minutes earlier. He'd been at home, working on his interview piece. Wait, what can I skip to? The only thing I can do now is die. The taxi car squealed as the cab rounded the corner. The shift in momentum made Minorikawa topple over in the back seat. There we go. 10 minutes on the dot, the drivers announced. Minorikawa righted himself and looked out the window. Shibuya Station. I knew you could do it, Mr. Kimizuka. He told the driver how to get to Heaven Publishing. It shouldn't be more than 5 minutes further. Sorry if I may ask, just why you're in such a hurry over? Son of a bitch! I beg your pardon. Kimizuka bristled. No, you, the guys have been waiting on me, Minorikawa said. I'm gonna give that son of a bitch a piece of my mind. I like the I read Minorikawa's things very fast, but it takes me a while to read his name because it's complicated. The multi-tenant building where Heaven Publishing had its offices came into view. The taxi stopped outside. Minorikawa opened the door as he hurried and reached out for his wallet. There he stopped. What if the worst had come to pass, and he needed to take Toyama to a hospital? Should he have the taxi wait here? It would be better to call an ambulance. Sir, is there a problem? The driver asked. Wait here, I'll be right back. Minorikawa was out of the cab in an instant and running for the building. Once inside, he avoided the elevator in favour of rushing up the stairs. Heaven Publishing rented out the 3rd and 4th floors. In all likelihood, Toyama would be at the editing department of a 4-star General Gossip on the 4th floor. Heaven Publishing. I'm pretending I can read kanji. When he got there, however, the door was locked. Mr. Toyama! Hey, Mr. Toyama! He shouted and banged, but there was no reply. Something was seriously wrong. Minorikawa took a deep breath and then kicked the door in. Whoa! There's the scene we saw. Toyama was standing on a stool, about to slip his head through a noose that hung from the ceiling. What the hell are you doing? Minorikawa lunged for Toyama. The two men crashed to the floor in a tangled heap, hopefully not with a noose around one of them. A pile of clutter slid off of a nearby desk and fell on top of them. Minorikawa, what are you doing? Toyama whined. Dragging himself back to his feet proved something of a challenge. That's what I'd like to know. Minorikawa's fury was mounting. What the hell is all this about? He jabbed an accusing finger at the noose hanging from the ceiling. Oh, that. One of those fluorescent lights died, and I was just swapping it out. Don't you feed me that bull. What was that phone call about? The business about the only thing you could do was die. Tell me. Just a joke. Toyama curled his lips into a faint semblance of a smile. Minorikawa wasn't buying it, but he didn't have time to press the issue. A cute little voice echoed through the editing office. Daddy, I'm back from the store. A little girl came walking in carrying a length of rubber gas tubing. What if she came in to see him dead? It was Toyama's 5th grade daughter, Hana. Toru Toyama's only daughter, currently 10 years old. The night Hana was born at Shibuya Central Hospital, there was an unexpected fireworks display outside the window of the maternity ward. As he looked out at the bursting rockets, Teru decided to name his daughter Hana after the Japanese word for fireworks, Hanabi. Oh shit, that's what Hanabi the game is named. Of course. Minorikawa said, Toyama, you were planning to use that hose to He hesitated to end his sentence with gas yourself to depth. I've played Hanabi twice and failed miserably in both of those instances. Well, you know, it's almost gassy this season after all. The hell it is! It was a beautiful sunny April day outside. Birds were singing. Yeah, well, you know how sensitive I am to the cold. This was getting truly ridiculous. Minorikawa got right up in his face. Listen, just explain to me what the heck is going on, okay? He kept his voice low, but his eyes steely. Wait, so does that mean that they call the fire flowers in Super Mario Hanabi? Hana clung tightly to her father, gazing worriedly at the two men. No, it's just... Toyama let out a long, heavy sigh of resignation. I wonder if I can jump to him now. Wonder what that'll do. Yeah, you'll need to jump from another protagonist. Sometimes jump keywords might be hidden within a tip. Wink, wink, wink. A man named Junichi Yanagishita shows up in Tama's story at roughly 11:20, and he lets out a sigh like Toyama's. that I mean, like, I know, like, not everyone has played the same things, but that's a surprising, like, thing to not know about. So the most extreme reaction now. Wait, is this the stuff that gives you visions or nightmares or something? I remember a rumour I heard not too long ago, some kind of urban legend. It was about some drink with a weird, burning, spicy flavour, and supposedly it turns all of your fingernails a faint shade of black, and it gives you red wine. Then, you see things you can't normally see, and hear things you can't normally hear. I completely... I totally understand where you're coming from there. It's actually really frustrating to play them. Especially, like, compared to something like Celeste, which has no inertia. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Like, I have a lot of respect, though, for the people who are really good at it. But it's just like, it is way too much thinking. Or really, it's just like trial and error in some cases. I heard some college students talking about hearing voices like that. Swearing's mystery drink could have that effect. It's a little unnerving. Still, I really doubt it could be true. I stick the bottle of burning hammer into my mascot head mouth. There's an unexpected smell like curry. Getting my own lips around the mouth of the bottle, I go... Oh. Okay. Where is that? Here it is. No, it's just... Toyama let a long, heavy sigh of resignation. It's the scratch cards that were enforced our general gossip. A type of lottery card featuring areas printed with a special silver ink. These silver inked areas can be scratched off with just a fingertip or coin to reveal potential winnings, providing a quick, speeded, low fix. In order to prevent the symbols or letters underneath the silver from showing through, the back of the card is printed in black. Somehow, you always seem to lose when you got your hopes up, but manage to win when you least expect it. That's where the problem is. And what is the problem? If you shine a light on the cards behind you, you can see where the winning symbols are. Whoa. I mess things up dealing with the printing company. All this, he gestured vaguely. It's my fault. My responsibility. He proceeded to explain the situation in detail. Word was quick to leak on the internet if there was a way to find the winning symbols, and suddenly thousands of cardholders turned up en masse to collect. Heaven Publishing was hit with a massive financial liability, and the employers rushed to flee a sinking ship. Before Toyama realized it, he was the only one left of the company, and he was against the deadline for next month's 4-star general gossip. If I have to drop next month's issue, I'll be stuck in debt even deeper, and if that happens, I'm finished. Toyama let a dismal groan. So don't drop the issue, Minorikawa snapped. He pounded his fist right into the side of a cardboard box, but Toyama just shook his head weakly. I've been up for 3 days straight trying to fill the pages. It's not enough. I can't do the impossible. He dropped his gaze to the floor. Countless scratch cards lay scattered about. They'd probably been amidst the pile that had fallen off the desk earlier. Each card showed a neat row of 5 win. You can't know if it's impossible if you don't see through. See it through. There's a big difference in the context. I'll never make it in time. The proof needs to be done by 8 o'clock this evening. Final stage before printing, when the copy of manuscript is checked for errors. Not sending corrected proofs to the printer before the deadline can result in books or magazine in question not making it onto the shelves in time for release day. Well then, Minorikawa thought to himself. He let out a sigh, and we went back to the old timeline, and then held his hand out to Hana. Hana, would you mind giving me that hose? Hana gave her father a quick look, then handed the rubber hose to Minorikawa. This won't be necessary. He tossed the rubber hose into the trash and then jabbed his finger at Toyama. Show me the layout and the draft proposed for next month's issue. Toyama blinked a few times in disbelief. You can't possibly be serious. I'm trying to help. Show me the layout of the proposal before I change my mind. After a brief, incredulous pause, Toyama hurried off to grab the paperwork. I'm curious where this guy's story is going to link in with everyone else's, because he seems to be kind of doing his own thing, apart from the taxi. A layout in publishing speak is an outline of a magazine showing which articles would occupy which spaces. Minorikawa let out a quick once-over, finding that 12 of the pages were still blank and untouched. He wanted to punch whoever's writers had been aside those pages. See what I mean, Toyama said? It's hopeless. He sounded perversely proud of his failure. Getting enough material to fill 12 pages by 8 o'clock. Yeah, he was definitely a tall order, alright. Says who? Minorikawa replied. Remember who you're talking to here. You seriously think you can do it? You're joking, right? Minorikawa struck back. I seriously know I can do it. There's nothing in this world I hate more than a bad joke. Why are you doing this for me? Toyama was getting misty-eyed. I'm not doing it for you, you spineless wimp. I'm doing it for the poor little Hana. Minorikawa, I'm so sorry. Toyama bowed his head so deeply, Minorikawa thought he might put his face through the floor. Don't apologize for me. Apologize to your daughter. Oh, forgive me. Forgive me, please, Hana. Toyama clutched her tightly in his arms. The girl hugged him back on the verge of tears. Hey now, enough of the waterworks. I've got your backs. Don't worry about a thing. Minorikawa picked up the draft proposal for the pages that needed filling. The words Shibuya Scuttlebutt Special were plastered across the cover sheet in big bold type. Okay, so a 12-page special edition block on Shibuya. Fair enough, here we go. And first on the docket, drink yourself thin with burning hammer. This reeked of a scam. The only way drinking more of something would make you lose weight would be if it was mixed with a laxative, probably. Still, there wasn't enough time to tweak the layout plan now. According to the proposal write-up, a product demo was scheduled for 1 PM that day. The location printed on the map was blurry and hard to make out, but Minorikawa had a rough idea of where it was. It looked like he didn't have much of a choice but to swing by in hopes of getting more material. He scanned further along in the proposal. That's also like, it's 2 hours away. Society of Surveillance. Hidden cameras installed throughout Shibuya. The rise and fall of Shibuya's vigilante squad. Where are they now? Washed up screenwriter's showcase. Sexy Squared. Twins share top prize at local university beauty contest. I wonder who they are. Shibuya now. Black bucket organ trafficking in Shibuya. Shadowy foreign crime syndicate exposed. Oh yeah, that's right. They say that this magazine is like 80% fluff, but also like occasionally has really significant information in it. The 7 pieces were enough to fill the 12 empty spaces. That was the plan at any rate, but there wasn't enough material there to make headway. The Shibuya Now article didn't have any proposed content. Sorry. This sucked hardcore. It didn't look like there was much material for the rise and fall of Shibuya's vigilante squad either. The note suggested that a few years prior, a group of youngsters in Shibuya had banded together to fight crime in the neighborhoods. I wonder if we can get an interview with them. I'm sure they're not doing much. At this point, however, things had flipped around completely and had become a gang of street punks themselves. Turned to the dark side. It had the makings of an interesting article for sure, but tracking down this gang would take time. Minorikawa was personally intrigued by the one about the organ harvesting in Shibuya. When did he take his helmet off? The rumour was that organs were being smuggled out of Southeast Asia and fenced off locally at a tremendous price. There was even a plan to ascertain the authenticity of his claims. Fascinating. Minorikawa was going to be spending all day gathering other material though. He didn't have much time to spare for it. I just thought he was going to always be wearing a helmet. It was just his thing. Shibuya Now! The rise and fall of Shibuya's vigilante squad. Black market organ trafficking in Shibuya? Minorikawa decided that one of these 3 had to go. He thought about it long and hard as he stared at the draft proposal. There's a good chance he'd really screw himself over if he picked the wrong one. Hang on, wait. I thought that was that. Hang on. I won't worry about it. Finally he decided to cut. Obviously. Finally he decided to cut black market organ trafficking in Shibuya? It had the potential to be the most interesting, but getting the material would take way too long. His goal was just to make sure that the gossip made it to press at all. Society of Surveillance, where are they now? Sexy Squared. Those 3 pieces had individual slated for interviews, but no appointments had been made with any of them. Unscheduled interviews were a dicey prospect. Minorikawa decided to call them up on his cell as he made his way down the list. And also, this is the opposite of anime. It's not even animated for the most part. The only one he managed to get a hold of was the Shinosuke Owarai from the Where Are They Now piece. Former broadcast writer, has appeared on various popular variety shows on commercial network Sun TV. He currently heads up a small theatre troupe known as the Wandering Angels, operating out of Shibuya. Later today, the troupe is putting on a performance at the Theatre Ace in Sakuragaoka. Okacho? I was saying that you're saying that this is anime and so it's something that, but it's like it's live action and it's not actually action. It's mostly just photos. Okay. He said he'd be willing to give a 15-minute interview after 2:30. Minorikawa sighed. He'd just have to get more material from the others in a more impromptu fashion then. Putting his nose to the grindstone, he started throwing together a schedule for the day. Was it possible to get all that material and write it all up and still finish the whole thing by 8 o'clock? It was no use. No matter how he tweaked it, none of his simulations ended with having a proof ready on time. He did one more thing, and that was another writer. The thing I find interesting about this choice is that they must be significant in some way, but they can only affect the hour, I assume, so like 2 of them must end badly or something, somehow. And it also has to resolve by the end of 11. Minorikawa zoomed through his contacts list, calling up the freelancers he knew. The results were depressing. Answering machines, overseas on business, in the hospital, currently doing time. Just getting more and more over the top. Before long he'd called everyone he could except for one, novice freelancer Chiaki Iso. Chiaki was a bit of an odd duck, a reporter who was scared of talking to people. Does she like video games? Minorikawa had never known anyone who'd become so hopelessly flustered in a one-on-one setting. In such a rattled state as to be unable to speak, Chiaki's tendency to become flustered is famous among her freelance writing colleagues. Once she conducted an hour-long interview during which she'd only managed to ask her interview subject name, yet another chapter in The Legend of Hopelessly Flustered Chiaki. If she couldn't talk to people, she certainly couldn't do interviews. Shh. Actually, no. Have you not seen the anime? Chiaki's a real person. I shouldn't say more because of spoiler stuff, but yeah. In the anime, like, there's a real Chiaki. If she couldn't get any real interview content, she wouldn't be able to write much in the way of copy. Would she come to his aid if asked? Quite probably. Also, the anime is not great. The issue was whether or not she would hinder more than help. Yeah, it's probably not, unless like you have nothing better to do. The most interesting thing it does is like provide context for what the bad thing that happened that they keep referring to, but otherwise it almost might be better to just read a plot summary. Let's just ignore Chiaki for now. What he needed now were dependable folks he could count on. He decided to email all his contacts from back in his staff reporter days. Emergency alert. Come to heaven publishing ASAP. If not, someone is going to die. Minoru Minorikawa. The message might have been extreme, but it was technically true. Still, he was taking a risk hoping that someone would react to the email in time. As it turned out, he got a response before too long. If this is about Toyama, no can do, sorry. The bluntness of the reply made Minorikawa wonder. Had Toyama been busy burning bridges? Before long, 2 more responses came in. They both contained a similar answer. No dice then. Waiting around for someone to turn up and help save the day was probably a waste of time. But any other real options, Minorikawa decided to call up Chiaki. So it's another seemingly meaningless choice, I guess. But we got more lore. The phone rang several times before a sleepy voice finally answered. That's an interesting graphic. Mellow. Chiaki, hi, it's Minorikawa. Are you free today? Huh? What? She seemed thrown by the abrupt question. Did you just wake up? No, I mean, well, yeah. Good morning. Her voice still sounded half asleep. So I'm guessing you don't have any work slated for today, as usual. Pretty much. No work, no money, no food, nothing to do except sleep. If I'm not awake, I can't dwell on how hungry I am. She didn't sound well, almost like she literally didn't have anything to eat. Well, I've got work for you. I'm over at 4-Star General Gossip. Get over here ASAP. What, you really mean it? That seems to finally wake her up. Yeah, but hurry. Minorikawa decided he just signed Chiaki to Shibuya Now piece. I want you to start by getting interviews off the street around Shibuya Station. Street interviews. Chiaki's voice came out like a nervous squeak. Mr. Mott, street interviews aren't really my Kid, you were just telling me how you couldn't afford to eat. Can you really afford to be so picky right now? But I mean, I guess not. The piece is called Shibuya Now. Just interview at least 10 people and give me an article by 6 o'clock. Okay. He quickly explained the kind of interview he was after, then hung up. So they're basically the opposite character, at least from this perspective of me voice acting them. Okay, I've got enough of a writer. We'll get through to Toyama, somehow. Toyama shrugged gloomily. Yeah, well, the thing is, there's actually one more problem. Are you kidding me? Minorikawa couldn't hide the irritation in his voice. What is it now? The loan company is sending a debt collector over at 4 o'clock. But as you can imagine, I don't have a single yen to give them. That's less than ideal, yeah. So what's the plan? Well, they've said provisionally if the next month's issue gets published, they'll be willing to wait on repayment. That's no problem. The issue's coming on, guaranteed. But they're not going to take my word on it anymore. I'm going to need to prove it. If you could fill Say, half the 12 pages by the time they show up, I could probably convince them. Alright, Minokari said wearily. So for starters, we need 6 pages by 4 o'clock. They needed all 12 pages done as it was. They made the perfect midpoint to shoot for. Any other problems you want me to look about? No, Sasayama, that's all. I really am sorry about this, Minorikawa. Again, he bowed his head low. Minorikawa felt distinctly awkward. He had known Toyama for years and had never been Kotard? I've seen that word before, I don't remember how to pronounce it. So like this before. Yeah, well, just let me handle it, alright? Minorikawa unfolded the map of Shibuya. The first order of business was deciding where to begin getting content. He marked the editing office with a circle and considered where to head next. Diet drink sales demo. So, where they are now. Society of Surveillance. Sexy squared. A university associated with Doriyama High School. Notable alumni include famous actress Masami Nagahama and National High School Baseball Championship winning pitcher Leon. Its educational philosophy is summed up by its slogan, words, skill and beauty. A very high percentage of winners of the Miss Midoriyama contest go on to have careers in the entertainment industry. Should be vigilantes, like a sheep said. The drink diet sales demo was at 1 o'clock, and the interview with Shinosuke Orai for Where Are They Now was slated for 2:30, so those times were set. The question was what to do in the interim. It was a little early, but maybe you could get to the center guy and get an interview at the diet sales demo. It's a bit of a hype, but maybe you could go to the Dogen Zaka and check out Endo Electronics. Hey, that's Archie's store. Let's go there. It's a bit of a hype, but maybe you go to Joggins and check out Endo Electronics. Yeah, that should give him what he needs to put out the Society of Surveillance piece. Okay, I'm headed out. And don't even think about doing anything else stupid while I'm gone. Got it? Minorikawa hustled out of the editing office, hoping Toyama would take his admonition to heart. Exiting the building, he hopped into the taxi that was waiting outside. Wait, thanks for waiting. Oh, that's the same taxi driver. Wow. Can you get me to Dogenzaka ASAP? Son of a bitch. Minorikawa bristled. I beg your pardon? That son of a bitch you wanted to give a peace of mind, sir. Was he waiting for you like you expected? Oh, yeah! And I damn well did give him a piece of my mind too. Glad to hear it, sir. Taxi sped off. So there's like he seems to have a lot of important decisions in his timeline. Or maybe I'm just thinking they're important. Minorikawa pulled out the proposal and looked it over again. The idea for the surveillance story revolved around the claim that hidden cameras had been installed throughout Shibuya's shopping districts. Upwards of 500 of them. Supposedly, these had eliminated lots of blind spots, and the crime rate in the area had dropped significantly. The cameras were managed by Daisuke Endo, owner of Endo Electronics and chairman of the local downtown committee. That was Minorikawa's first mission then. He needed to get this guy's story. I'm liking this guy's like slice of the plot though. Scanning the side of the road, Minorikawa has finally spotted a rundown electronics shop. The sign out front, which looked like it might fall at any moment, read Endo Electronics. Like it's the guy who's stuck in his like house all day. Like he's not quite interesting yet, but I'm sure it's important. Right, he's fine. The taxi stopped, and Minorikawa pulled out a 10,000 yen bill from his wallet. That means he can't buy a drink. Keep the change, he said. What? Look, don't sweat it. The name's Minoru Minorikawa, and I'm a freelance writer. I care about two things: what's real and what's true. There's real worth to what you've done for me. And that there's my token of my appreciation. It's not much, but please take it. Minorikawa slid out of the taxi and headed for the electronics store. Inside, Endo Electronics looked more like an actual mountain of hoarded junk than an actual business. Towering piles of ancient appliances stretched toward the ceiling. Old television sets with dial knobs leaned against computers with 5-inch floppy disks. A storage medium for personal computers in production from 1976 to 2001. The magnetic discs are sheathed in paper or plastic jackets and are known for their tendency to flop around in one's hand. Technically speaking, they are 5.25 inches in diameter. Incidentally, Door, released in 1983. The debut title from this game, producer Koichi Nakamura, was produced on a 5-inch floppy disk. I don't know, if there are different size floppy disks, but I feel like I was still using them as late as, 2004. What possible use could there be for all this outdated stuff? Mr. Endo, are you in here? Minorikawa called out. Nobody came to greet him. The shop was definitely open, though. Surely the proprietor hadn't left it unattended. Hey, Mr. Endo, come on, I know you're in there. After a short wait, Minorikawa heard sounds from the living space beside the shop. A door opened to reveal a tired-looking, middle-aged man. Yeah, what do you want? Are you Mr. Endo? Minorikawa asked. I am, the guy said guardingly. And I'm sorry, but I'm in the middle of something right now. Could you come back tomorrow, or... Please, just give me a minute. I'm a freelance writer. Name's Minorikawa. Minorikawa showed Endo his business card. I'm writing an article for the 4-Star General Gossip. A magazine piece, huh? Precisely. So if we could just get a little of your time today... Free writer. Okay, free writer. The phone rang, cutting him off before he could get into business. I'm sorry, you'll have to excuse me for a moment. Endo reached for the clutter and pulled out a telephone. Hello, Endo Electronics. The proprietor listened for a moment and then raised an eyebrow. Yeah, that's a problem, alright. Alright, understood. No! Unless they say Japan or a number from 1 to 10, I refuse. I might be able to read Tokyo. I can't remember that one fully. I'd know it if I saw it. What was that all about? Minorikawa asked. Oh, yesterday I sold a dry ice machine. And the manufacturer just told to let me know the model is defective. Yeah, that's Japan. It's Tokyo is one I feel like I know what I've recognised, but I wouldn't be able to draw it from memory like I can with Japan. Apparently, once it starts making dry ice, it won't stop. Okay, maybe I don't recognise it. Yeah, that's Tokyo. What's that? What's that second one? I thought it might be Osaka just because I recognise the O kanji, but that's about it. I also thought Oishi because that's the first word that comes to mind that starts with O. Except I think if you say Oishi, you just use that one kanji on its own. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've had to know this stuff. I need to tell a customer I have to recall the machine and refund their deposit. Okay, so it's a completely different kanji. Please give me a moment. Endo shifted through the sales slips, read a number off of one, and made a phone call. Also, yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be, I guess. I know some of the days of the week, but I don't know which days they are. I think that Friday is the one that has gold at the start, and I couldn't tell you what it is. It's, one of them's Getsu Yobi. There's a Sun Yobi. I don't know. Yeah, I those ones I used to know, but now I don't. Yeah, that's Friday, I'm guessing though. Nobody picked up on the other end, however. That's right, he grumbled to himself. He said they have some performance today. Performance? Minorikawa said. I sold it to a guy from some theatre troupe. They're called the Wandering Angels or something. A theatre troupe run by Shinosuke Orai. This afternoon at 5:30 PM, they're performing their 22nd piece, Au revoir. Right now, all the actors are already at their theatre except for Akio Mondo. Oh yeah. Oh shit. I know that. That one's Monday or Sunday. I can't remember. But that's the kanji for month. Or is it the I think it's the kanji for month. Yeah. Who plays the rival of the main character Ryu? An angry production. Ah, yeah, that's all coming back to me. An angry production chief has sent his assistant to Mondo's apartment, but he does not yet know what awaits him there. Continued in the Tale of Wandering Angels, episode 2, 6 episodes in all. I need to like, maybe I should like relearn Japanese at some point, but I don't know what the best way to do it would be. The Wandering Angels. That was Shinosuke's Orai's theatre troupe. Minorikawa had an interview with him booked for 2:30. Anyway, what can I do for you? Minorikawa hastily explained what he was after. Wait a minute, Loon. Wait, what does Claire mean, as in Claire de Lune? Endo gave him a dubious look. As I said earlier, I'm a bit busy right now. Busy cleaning up, I hope. How do you get anything done in this mess? Why? Are you this rude to all your interviews, I'd say? 5 minutes! Just give me 5 minutes of your time, please. You've got to be joking. Go on, get the hell out of here. Endo headed for the back his back room in a huff. Fine, then I'll just have to write about what you already told me. Ah. Interesting. Namely, that Endo Electronics sells defective merchandise. Just what are you implying? Did you not sell that theatre troupe a defective piece of equipment? Look, I'm gonna get in touch with them as soon as... I'm being there in a hurry preparing for their performance. I doubt you'll be getting through them today. Endo bit his lip. None of that have your attention, Minorikawa said. Let's make a deal. What kind of deal? I'm meeting with a member of the Wandering Angels a little later today. I can let them know about the dry ice machine for you. In exchange, all you have to do is give me my interview. Endo scowled. And where's your proof you'll be meeting the Wandering Angels? I may take advantage of a guy when he's down, Minorikawa said, but one thing I'm not is a liar. The shopkeeper took a few moments to think about it. Fine, he grumbled. 5 minutes, that's all you get. It can be a confusing thing to talk about Claire de Lune if you're Australian, because in addition to the well-known Debussy piece, it's also like there's a popular electronic song from like about 8 years ago now called Claire de Lune, which is vaguely inspired by it, but it's a completely different song. It's very popular, and it's like whenever I hear the phrase, I need to like double take like which one they're talking about. Minorikawa whipped his notepad out of his coat like he was drawing a gun. Then let's get down to it, shall we? Go right ahead. So I hear that over 500 surveillance cameras have been installed throughout Shibuya's shopping districts. Yes, that's right. Why so many? We used to have a lot of delinquents in town. Young people who act rowdy or cause trouble, often at arcades or convenience store parking lots, and frequently resort to petty theft and other mischief. Also referred to in other more outmoded terms as ruffians or hoodlums. La Encia. I don't know how to pronounce it. Like, I assume it's not just how it's read, but I wouldn't know how to differentiate it. Endo said the word with marked distaste. Oh yeah, I remember there being some problem kids around. They were little punks. They vandalized my signs, made a mess of my storehouse. They were just awful. I see. Minorikawa scribbled diligently in his notepad. Heck, my own son put together a sort of vigilante squad to help teach this punks a lesson. Oh, so it is just Lark, then? Wait. Vigilante squad. Oh, hold up right there for a second. Minorikawa just jutted out his hand to interrupt. This guy's son was part of the Vigilante squad. A stroke of luck! Maybe you could also provide some info with the article that was gangs in Shibuya. Sorry, I don't mean to get too far off topic here, but could you tell me the name of this group your son belongs to? They call themselves SOS. Originally a group of well-meaning young people who would get together downtown as a sort of vigilante squad trying to keep Shibuya clean and safe. In those days, the group never engaged in theft or other criminal activities. More recently, however, SOS has become one of the biggest gangs in Shibuya, resorting to defacing public property with graffiti, shoplifting, and shaking people down for cash. Priding themselves on being the biggest gang in Shibuya and all that. The top gang in Shibuya? Did I really just hit the jackpot right here? Not to pat myself on the back, but go me. All I have to do is step outside and the story finds me. I think I might be a natural at this. As it happens, I'd also like to interview people from SOS. Would you be able to put me in touch with your son? Yeah, sure. But you should know that my son isn't in the gang anymore. Wait, can I do this jump already? I'll do it after I've read through this. Oh, Minorikawa hesitated. Guess he's no use to me then. Oh, believe me, I know how you feel. Wow. That is harsh words. Hey, JP. You were just streaming Kingdom Hearts 3, I think. How did your stream go? Hey, welcome to anyone who's here. Welcome to 428 Shibuya Scramble, or whatever it calls it in the thing, but that's not what it's called on Steam. This is a visual novel where you take part in 5 different storylines that each interconnect in strange and bizarre ways, which is appropriate because this is a strange and bizarre story where a girl has been kidnapped. There's a disease rampant, which is very manga-esque in these current times. This guy's trying to get put together like fluff magazine articles just so his boss won't kill himself. And meanwhile, there's someone who is stuck in a cat suit selling out and trying to sell defective weight loss bottles. It is a I know it's the name that comes up if you type 428 in the complete thing. I think that name is valid somewhere, but I don't know. Maybe they changed it for some localization. There was no point in interviewing Endo's son if he wasn't part of the gang anymore. I figured that Minorikawa's run of good luck would end eventually. Still, he'd gotten a lead in the form of the name, SOS. That was progress. Alright, so back to the matter at hand. He flipped his notebook back open. What did you decide to do about those juvenile delinquents? I set up a tiny little web camera in order to protect my property. And the fun thing for me also is that these 5 protagonists you contain, like, they do not know each other at all, but they just keep running into each other. So like right now I'm talking to one of the other protagonist's dads and he doesn't know who he is. Cameras designed to send video information to a computer via the internet. Look carefully and you can often spot them outside private residences and even on public streets where they are installed for use in surveillance. Given the risks of transmitted data being intercepted, the images recorded by such cameras are generally encrypted to prevent playback by unauthorized third parties. Many of the landmarks and attractions make their camera footage available online. I see. I'm guessing the webcam did the trick. Sure did. It's not, I don't know what these people made, actually. But I keep coming up with reasons to mention Danganronpa because there's a Chiaki, there was a Mondo just before, Webcameras aren't particularly expensive, so it wasn't too tough to set them up downtown. Oh, wait, yeah, you're right, actually. This was published by Spike Chunsoft. They're not the people who made it, but they did publish this and Danganronpa. So I guess that counts for something. So who's in charge of the security camera? Members of the Downtown Business Committee take turns. The cameras are connected via a wireless network that business owners can access throughout the area. A LAN or local area network. A communications system that can only be used within a limited geographical area. A wireless LAN transmits electronic signals. Although convenient, it does not require cable attachments. There is a risk of signals conveyed in this way being intercepted by a third party. How's the security for this wireless network? Oh, no problems on that front, and I seem surprised at the question. All the footage sent over the network is fully encrypted. Encryption is the process of encoding data so it is indecipherable for a third party. Restoring encrypted data in its initial form requires what is known as a key. A program designed for this purpose. There are 2 main types of cryptographic systems. Secret crypto systems use the same key for both. This is just stuff I learnt at university. No problem. Cheers for the raid and cheers for coming by. Enjoy the rest of your day. Or night. Use a public key to encrypt the data, but require a proprietary key known by a recipient in order to decrypt. But still, people can't feel too good about being recorded on camera without their knowledge, don't you think? Norikawa asks. The shopkeeper's expression darkened. We hope to strike a balance between crime prevention and protecting individual privacy. And who will determine what the balance is? Norikawa let a note of challenge slip into his voice. That would be me. I've been entrusted with the management of the security cameras. I see. So essentially you've been providing your own moral oversight. Are you implying that I'm abusing my authority? Endo shot back. I'm doing this in the name of public order. Right, you've had your 5 minutes, now get out of here. The shopkeeper stood up and headed into the back. I'm sure to let the Wandering Angels know about the dry ice machine. Minorikawa held it at the closing door. Episode 2. When Akiyama Mondo didn't show up at the theatre at all in the meantime, production assistant Yukio Suzuka went to call on him in his apartment. Upon arriving, Suzuka found that the place had been staked out by debt collectors. Mondo had borrowed 300,000 yen and that he wouldn't leave his home until he paid up. It looked like the only way to save Mondo was to give the debt collectors the operating funds of the theatre. Before Tezuka could head back to relay this news, the prop master Shinichi Bando showed up. It's just like a sick storyline going on, I guess. Ino didn't reply. Minorikawa had gotten enough of a story to put an article together, so he decided to hurry to a coffee shop and get started on some coffee. Coffee shop. Scriblio hours. He was making his way down along to Jogenzaka when his cell phone rang. The incoming call display showed Chiaki's name. Chiaki, what's going on? Oh, it's no use. She sounded like she was on the verge of tears. What's no use? I can't do this. I just can't talk to people passing by on the street. What? Why not? It's just that everyone seems so busy when they're walking past. If I try to interrupt them, they're gonna be all mad at me. Well, who the hell cares if they get mad? Minorikawa was ready to start ripping his hair out. I don't want them to be mad at me. She whimpered again. But this wasn't about what she wanted, was it? She was supposed to be working, not whining. Look, Chiaki, you need to get me those interviews, period. Do I make myself clear? He hung up before he could squeeze in an she could squeeze an objection. Chiaki is too relatable. Damn it, Minorikawa muttered. Just what I needed, one more thing to worry about. He pulled out his hair a few more times and cast his worried gaze in the direction of Shibuya Station. It must be close to the end of this story. I am curious, like, what happens if I choose different articles to just cross off. Ooh, it's right at the end. Actually, that is the end. I'm stupid. So let's do that jump. See where this takes us. It's such a weird mechanic. Okay, prepare my Archie voice. Hitomi, look! There it was. A blue van had appeared nearby, parked in a spot that had been empty previously. Archie couldn't see who was inside, but it was definitely something fishy about it. Besides, there weren't any other blue cars around, so this had to be it. He was right, the crooks had come back after all. I'm gonna make it go take a quick look, Archie said. You wait here! But before he could carry out his plan, Hitomi jumped to her feet. Without a word, she rushed forward toward the van. Hold on, I said wait! She wasn't slowing down. Archie caught hold of her arm. Wait! This could be dangerous. What if the kidnappers in there? And what if my sister's in there? I have to help her. Archie knew full well what it was like to be impulsive. This is one situation where cooler heads had to prevail. We can't just hang out here, she insisted. What if the car takes off again? That's why I said I was going to take a look first. But isn't that dangerous? What if they do something to my sister because some random guy comes snooping around? Oh, yeah, you got a point. Archie thought as fast as he could. The criminal told Hitomi to get into the van. There had to be some specific reason for it. What if they were planning to abduct her as well? Whatever the case, he couldn't just let her go. He had to make a snap decision. Let's go together. I'm very curious. There's a scene at the start which shows either Hitomi or her sister, I don't know because they're twins, looking into a van, possibly this one, and I wonder if this is that scene or that really was her sister and that was when she was kidnapped. I don't know. Okay, let's go together then. How does that work for you? Please, we have no idea who we might run into. Of course. Hitomi gave a slight nod. Alright, she said. But let me go first, and you follow, okay? Got it! Archie replied. Archie waited as Hitomi started walking, then followed her at a distance so it wouldn't look like they were together. She headed straight for the van. This is looking a bit different though. Two men got out of the car, neither of them Japanese. Archie picked up his pace in case he needed to close the distance fast. One of the men approached Hitomi and said something to her. She gave an affirming nod. Suddenly, the two men grabbed her from either side. They dragged her to the van and shoved her into the back seat. Archie broke into a sprint. Of course! It was a trap! He couldn't guess what their whole plan was, but kidnapping Hitomi was obviously part of it. But before he could reach the vehicle, the doors slid shut. The van sped off in an instant later. Archie raced after it. He ran as hard as he could, thinking of nothing else. He couldn't give up now. Couldn't let things end like this. He made a promise. No quitting halfway, and no turning his back on someone to jump. It's like he's about to jump to it, but the car kept getting further and further away. Before long, it was just a blue speck that had vanished into the cityscape. No! Archie never saw Hitomi again. I wonder what the hint will be for this. Archie did try to warn Hitomi that checking out the van by herself was dangerous. And oh look, she got herself kidnapped. Maybe he should have put his foot down and checked on things for himself first. Well, let's try that again. I mean, let's try that for the first time. Look, just let me go first. I don't want to put you in any more risk. Tommy's determination wavered at the sight of look in Archie's eyes. Please, he continued. We have no idea who or what we might run into. I'll give some signal. Then you can come along, and I doubt they'll be interested in leaving then. Hitomi gave a reluctant nod. Please be careful. Will do. And tell me if my sister's in there. I will. You can count on it. Archie stepped out into the open and started walking toward the van. He tried his best to look as if he wasn't paying it any attention. Yep, I am just an ordinary passerby. As he got nearer, he tried to sneak a glimpse inside. The van's dark window fill made it hard to see who might be inside, or even how many people. Casually, he moved closer to get a better look. Suddenly, the sliding door burst open and several people jumped out. None of them were Japanese. Within moments, Archie was surrounded. Whoa, what? Hey, what's the deal? Archie said. He let out a little chuckle. Man, that thing must be packed. How many seats you got in that thing anyway? He took another step towards the vehicle and looked inside. Exactly, first try. I mean, first try for what is obviously a good situation. One of the men pulled a knife from inside his jacket, thrusting out in Archie's direction. That expression he's got, wow. He probably meant it as a simple threat, but on reflex, Archie went into self-defense mode, kicking him right in the jaw. Ouch. There was a loud crack as his foot connected. The man dropped out like a light. Like a light. Like a light. The others stared and then rushed him. Well, this sure hadn't gone as planned. Too late to take it back now. The damage was done. Archie was just going to have to take out the rest of these punks too. He nimbly shifted his feet, evading their initial attack. Having to take these guys on 3-1 wasn't going to be pretty. Archie! He heard Hitomi cry out. Crap. She doxed him. He hadn't given any signal, but she had come out of hiding anyway. Hitomi, stay back! How was he supposed to fight off 3 guys and protect her at the same time? What could he do? If only he had Iba. What should he do? Within moments, a number of passers-by had gathered around the fight. Maybe they'd heard Hitomi shouting. Hey, what's going on? Oh my god, is that a knife? This ain't just some pretty petty squabble. Someone better call the police. Some of them began taking photos with their cell phones. Phones with their photos. The woman has tilted her head, just like, hmm? One of the men cursed in frustration, then signaled for his buddies to get back into the car. Archie couldn't stop them. The engine roared into life and the van sped away. Knowing he'd never catch them on foot, Archie merely watched it go. He'd failed. This was his fault, all of it. Archie bit his lip hard. How could he possibly face Hitomi now? Archie. Hitomi's voice was hollow, empty. I feel like her actress is not giving the right expression, I'm not sure. Archie stared down at his feet like a scolded child. I'm sorry. I didn't see whether your sister was in there or not. I see. The words, so simple and matter of fact, stung him to the heart. I'm so sorry. But Hitomi simply shook her head. The fact that she wasn't even chewing him out made him feel all the worse. I know I messed up, but he was going to say, I'll make it up for it, but he froze with fear at what he saw next. It's the gun meme. Across the street staring at him was the man with the cane. Hitomi, it's him! They had to get out of here. Is that the guy who shot Kano multiple times? It might be. He grabbed Hitomi by the hand and bolted down Dogenzaka. The assassin followed, staying on the side of the road. Archie wasn't sure what to do. Oh, alright. Should they try heading into the alleys and the side streets again? No, it was more dangerous to head someplace where there'd be fewer witnesses. Best to stick to Zogenzaka for now. The man wouldn't be able to gun them down if they managed to lose themselves in the crowd alongside a guy first. Besides, the guy had to use a cane. Archie and Hitomi could outrun him. Hand in hand, they sped along Dogenzaka and through the intersection in front of the 109 building. Come on Hitomi, just a little further. Okay. She was panting, but she pressed on. Archie risked a glance over back at his shoulder. Huh? He stopped in surprise. What's wrong? Hitomi asked. That guy, he's not following us. The slope leading down the intersection wasn't all that steep. Several plainclothes detectives have been hiding amidst the crowd in the intersection as part of the kidnapping stakeout. Right now, Director Kuze was sending a message to all officers over the wireless, and so the detectives have stopped to listen in. It's a bit unusual. An observant individual might notice. What if they think he's the kidnapper? Still, it was strange that the gunman hadn't bothered to pursue. Still, there was no time to worry about his behavior right now. Hitomi, can you still run? Yes, I'm alright. Then this is our chance. This way. They needed to put plenty of distance behind them before the assassin came after them again, but they also needed to find the van again and rescue Hitomi's sister. Would they be able to find it and yet stay hidden from the man with the cane? Archie wasn't sure one way or the other. With Hitomi in tow, he hurried onward along to Center Guy. Oh, we finished 2 stories now. I was gonna say, like, because I remember when you start the game, it showed that picture of the singer there or something, and that's the main area where the train station is. So we've really gone all the way back full circle, I guess. Or is it another place in Persona 5? He's way back in 1125. What was the hint for him? If I go to... Oh wait, it was both of his, Yeah, that's... Isn't it just where you step out of the train station? And you can buy lotto tickets and, all that jazz. Oops, sorry. How did I open the hints again? Whoops. Yeah, I think I know what place you mean. Here we go. Band ending list. Archie's decision at 11:05. I guess that his timeline takes place on the idea that Archie is dead. Yeah, that's what I thought. Actually, no, I thought the lottery ticket's the other side, but it doesn't matter. It's interesting. But yeah, when I think of Shibuya, I think of that, like, that whole complex. So I guess we can continue this, guys, because now Hitomi isn't dead. I mean, Archie isn't dead. Osawa viewed an image slideshow of the virus's propagation mechanism. I wonder if like his story is going to go anywhere else for now. It's a fascinating site no matter how many times I look at it. I think also once this guy's story is done, I think I'll stop for tonight because it's like 3:20 in the morning. I'd like to do a 3-hour stream, but I think I should stop before that. And I will like try to stream this more. I'm just very close to finishing a very arduous grind in Tetris 99. Viruses exist to multiply, nothing more. They had no motives, no driving logic, nothing but simple multiplication. To Osawa, the fact that they held a certain air of mystery. If viruses had emotions, how would they feel about their lives? He had thrown himself into virus research in the search of answers to questions like that. Answers that no man could ever truly know. I mean, at the moment, I'm trying to get to level 1 star, and I'm level 97 star. I just hit it tonight. So I need about 270,000 more experience, which is about 250 to 300 more games. Which is actually not much, all things considered. I'm very close. His development of the antiviral agent had really been nothing more than another job responsibility. He felt no particular sense of duty to protect people from a killer virus. In fact, I might be done in like a week. He was just happy for the chance to play around with War day after day. And then I'll like no longer have to spend all my free time when I'm not doing other important things, grinding out Tetris. Maybe I'll play Disco Elysium. And also I'll try to stream this more often. Osawa furrowed his brow as he scanned the message. Emergency alert. Come to Heaven Publishing ASAP. If not, someone is going to die. Minoru Mirakawa. Interesting. Wait, so that message did matter, I guess. Heaven Publishing. Minarikawa. Osawa wasn't familiar with either of those names. He wondered if it was related to the mysterious emails he received earlier. Or maybe the sender had some information about the kidnapping. The fact the message had been signed with a real name instead of a pseudonym, along with its obvious urgency, gave it an air of truth. And the words, "someone is going to die," filled with a wave of panic. Maria! Alright, I'm enjoying the dramatic irony of this guy's story. In a rush, he found directions to Heaven Publishing on his computer, then slipped out of the house. It took a good while to find his way to the multi-tenant building. The sign in front of it showed that Heaven Publishing occupied the 3rd and 4th floors. Osawa took the elevator to the 3rd floor. Now I kind of want to do his story, but... oh, no, I can't. Never mind. I was thinking you'd do it with the guy already dead, but you can't prompt this otherwise, I think. He peeked inside the offices there, only to find the entire place empty. The 4th floor was likewise deserted. There was a rope dangling from the ceiling, tied off into a noose. It seemed rather sinister, but Osawa had no idea what it meant. He waited a good 30 minutes anxiously the whole time. So, the half hour turned into an hour, and then to 2. It seemed no one was going to turn up. Osawa headed back to the 3rd floor. He decided to wait there for 1 more hour. I wonder where Minarikawa's boss has gone then, and when Minarikawa comes back. But now he was committed. The extra hour turned into 2. Exhausted, he dozed off in his chair when he came to. It was close to sundown. Sunset already? He gazed out the window, the haze of sleep still clinging to his mind. He had the feeling he was forgetting something important, but the sight of the sun quietly setting over the cityscape made the crisis of life feel strangely distant. It seems that he's very important, but no one has, like, called him or anything. The time of peace and quiet he had longed for was right here. This is actually the good ending. A mysterious email told Osawa to go to Heaven Publishing, but no one was there. The email was sent by Minoru Kawa, of course. At around 11:30, he blasted out an email to all the reporters he knew. In his hurry, he screwed up one of the addresses, which coincidentally delivered a copy of the message to Osawa. Obviously, this never would have happened if Minoru Kawa hadn't shut the interview. That's a ridiculous coincidence. Alright, I said I'd stop, but I mean, I'm not counting that. I'm gonna actually, like... Well, it was this decision, I think. No, it wasn't. It was the next one. Okay. This is no time for beggars to be choosers. Minoru Kawa decided to call up Chiaki. Okay. Hang on. What was the decision here? I'm skipping ahead. Wait, where did I go? I mean, if it's repeated stuff, I'll just skip over it. Another email arrived in his inbox. The sender, A. Subject line, 1 year ago, South Africa again. Wait. Oh, I just realized I created that bad and it wasn't there before. I like that. After a time, Osawa could feel himself growing calmer. He took a nice deep breath, then he dialed up Makino. But, oh, right, it's because, no. Hang on. When I played Minoru Kawa and I did the bad ending before that, so I obviously couldn't have called him. So does that mean that Minoru Kawa obviously has I guess he has enough of a good ending initially that... Yeah, this is weird to think about. Has there been any progress? Makino asked as soon as he picked... Oh, Makino's a guy. Oops. I thought it was his wife. His voice was somber. No, Osawa said. Nothing much yet. A tiny sigh came from the other end of the line. I see. Then what can I do for you? Sir, I'll just get right to the point. Have you conducted clinical trials using the antiviral drug? Makino didn't respond right away. No, I mean, I get it. I'm just like trying to run the schematics of what is the de facto choice for everyone right away. Because, like, before you get the chance to send the email off, you've already, like, lost because you found your boss dead. So obviously, like, if he sends the email initially, that means that it's gone past that step at least. But conversely, Archie has picked the wrong choice at the start. It doesn't really matter. The point is, it's interesting. Osawa described the emails he received. When he'd finished, Makino let out his breath in surprise. Not over the phone, he said. We'll discuss this in person. I'll head over to your place when I'm done here. As soon as possible, sir. As soon as I can manage, Makino said. You're not the only person who's busy. With that, Makino hung up. There was no doubt about it then. There had to be human testing. Osawa went out to let Tanaka know he'd been meeting with Makino. Mr. Osawa, are you going somewhere? A stolid-looking man stood in the hallway, almost as if he'd been waiting for Osawa to emerge. It was Yoshio Kajiwara, one of the detectives from the Shibuya precinct. He looks very friendly. He's not holding a gun, at least. A lot of strangers tend to be. Detective of the Shibuya Precinct's Criminal Investigation Division. He is sociable but awkward, and despite his reserved personality, he can be quite unsettling. His colleagues at the precinct refer to him by nicknames such as Japanese Columbo and Little Ken Takakura, given his own quirky demeanor as a detective. He struck Osawa as a bit too soft-spoken and meek for a detective, really. But the cops are the good guys with the guns, right? And his treatment of the kidnapping case gave an impression of a flight detachment that made him seem rather undependable. No, not really. Have there been any developments, Detective? Kajiwara shook his head quietly. I'm sorry, sir. I'm not really sure what to tell you. Kajiwara then slipped a hand into his suit pocket. Gun. Close enough. He pulled out a banana. A highly nutritious fruit belonging to the family Musaceae of the genus Musa. Because they contain a variety of different carbohydrates, bananas can provide long-lasting energy and are optimal energy sources when exercising. Their famous slipperiness of banana peels is due to the oils in the inner part of their skin, but even if all the oils were removed, slapstick comedians probably would still slip on them anyway. I mean, I've played worms. Bananas are much more dangerous than guns. Are you hungry? This is good for when you're tired. Is there just like a running theme of the cops eating bananas? Because like Sasayama was eating one at the start, and I think Kano had one at some point. I'm fine, thanks. Kajiwara seemed to lack a detective's sense of situational awareness. Just being around him got on Osawa's nerves. Well, sir, I need you to come with me, the detective said, if you don't mind. He took Osawa by the arm. As Kajiwara hurried toward the living room, Osawa could hear the other detectives talking on the other side of the door. He's working at a time like this? Seriously? Sheesh, I do not get rich people and their priorities. Yeah, I feel bad for his daughter. Her dad's a real piece of work. Nice. They were bad-mouthing him in his own house. Oh, I'm really sorry about all that, Kajiwara said, pausing in embarrassment. Osawa pushed past him and opened the door. A number of police detectives had holed up in the living room. They went suddenly silent as Osawa entered. So tell me, he said sarcastically, would you rather I stay here weeping as I watch this disaster unfold? The detective winced and grimaced. Forgive me for not being the perfect father, he added, his hostility building. Kajiwara stepped forward to intervene before things got out of hand. Now, let's not be touchy. I am not being touchy, Osawa said, but he knew full well that he was. These guys had the time to sit around backbiting him, but not to go out and bring Maria to safety. Already close to half a day had gone with no new developments. The ransom demands had come in the previous night at 8 o'clock. Maria had been abducted roughly an hour before. Tomorrow, 10 AM, by Hachiko in Shibuya, have the sister Hitomi bring 50 million yen. If not, the girl's life is forfeit. The kidnapper called only once, so the police were unable to run a trace. I'll do it, Hitomi said. Anything for my sister. She didn't hesitate in the slightest suggestion that she make the ransom handoff. Osawa was staunchly opposed to the idea, but the police were of the opinion that it was better to acquiesce the kidnapper's demands. It is so weird to say acquiesce, not out of my own choice. Ai's reaction, on the other hand, baffled nearly everyone. We don't have nearly 50 million yen just lying around. Are the police going to be putting that together for us? Kajiwara stepped in to assure her. If it comes down to it, the police will be able to help raise the money. Okay, go ahead and do it. If you don't know, acquiesce is basically to just reluctantly transfer something over. I just like to use it in all cases. We'd need you to pay it back afterwards, though, of course. Well, then what's the point of that? Ai's voice spiked up to a piercing shriek. Calm down, Osawa told her. You're making a scene. I turned away in a huff. It's alright. It's alright, Detective, Osawa continued. I'll talk to the bank first thing tomorrow and figure something out. At that, I stormed out of the room. Kajiwara bowed his head several times in apology. As soon as Hitomi has made contact, we'll apprehend the suspect and take things from there. That went well last time they did. What? Hold on, won't that put Maria in danger? If we let the kidnapper get away with the money, we have no proof that he will return the hostage safely afterwards. There's a certain logic there, so I had to concede. I see, he said. So you're saying that catching this guy will be easier for you if he keeps my daughter hostage? No, that's not what I was implying at all, Kajiwara wiped the sweat off his brow. And browed profusely. At least, I promise we'll get your daughter back safe and sound, Mr. Osawa. Obviously there was nothing to be gained from further challenging the detectives. Alright then. I'll let the police do their job. Osawa bowed even lower than Kajiwara had. Honestly, it's less about having an appropriate voice for Osawa, but more a distinct one at this point. How long are you going to be just loaf around? I shrieked as she stormed into the room. Hurry up and arrest this guy. She was becoming increasingly hysterical. An hour had passed since the suspect had taken the money, and yet the police had made no effort to apprehend him. The police apparently had a rule against discussing an operation before it was fully resolved, so the Osawas had been left in the dark. But they overheard the task force talking over the wireless, and it appeared they'd deliberately let the suspect roam free. Hey, I snapped again. If he gets away with our money, you are going to reimburse us, right? Osawa scowled. She made it sound like the money was more important than Maria's life. Wait, what's that? Faux army? I'm not sure. I know that. I know faux, but I don't know the second part of that. The detectives exchanged uneasy glances. Osawa chided his wife. It's only money. It doesn't matter. Only money? Are you serious? Do you have any idea how much we're talking about here? The ferocity in her voice left him with no response. He should have known better than to expect her to make sacrifices for his daughters. By now he was accustomed to Ai's coldness towards the two girls. The twins were Osawa's daughters from his first wife, who'd passed away 15 years earlier. I had no blood ties to Maria or Hitomi herself. Well, I said, are the police going to reimburse us or not? I'm not maybe that's the known term. I'm not sure I know it. She glared pointedly at Kajiwara. Well, right now we're focused on making sure Maria is safe. I stormed up to him, shouting... Wait, was that in the text? Okay. Stop dodging the question. Answer me. Yes, of course, Kajiwara squeaked. Maybe you'd like something to eat to help you calm down? He held out a banana. I smacked it out of his hand. Oh dear, what a waste. Kajiwara scrambled to retrieve the fruit from the floor. I mean, the word has nothing to do with that, yeah. I'm guessing it just sounds similar in some way. Osawa went over to Tanaka and whispered into his ear. I'm going to meet with Mr. Makino. Tanaka nodded silently. Ah, okay. Turning, Osawa saw Kajiwara looking in his direction. They made eye contact, but Osawa quickly looked away and strode out of the living room. Kajiwara followed after him. Excuse me, Mr. Osawa. Oh, so you mean it's kind of like one of those terms that are like very rooted in the language, so there's no direct thing that means like has a proper meaning for it. Kind of like Schadenfreude in German. The detective fussed sheepishly with his hair and forced a smile. So, we'd appreciate if you could remain in the living room as much as possible. Osawa was in no mood to stand on propriety. Look, I've got a ton of work to do, he said. Are you here to tell me to play the role of the grieving father too? No, not at all. Personally, I happen to think you're an admirable father, Mr. Osawa. Admirable. The word... Wait, sorry. I missed that. Did the word have a ring of sarcasm? He had no way to tell if Kajiwara was being forthright with him or not. You're no ordinary fellow, Mr. Osawa. You're a genius. A genius? Me? Osawa made a skeptical noise. Am I mistaken, sir? You've made very important strides in the field of virus research. Or, well, so I've been told. Osawa wasn't sure how to respond. He had never considered himself a genius. He was just someone who was more interested in viruses than he was in other people. Everyone who's a genius also has a little bit odd, after all. Kajiwara went, probably he intended that as a compliment, but still. I mean, there's nothing wrong with weirdos, Baka. So as long as they leave us ordinary folks alone, you know. Is he trying to say he's normal? Is this guy trying to praise me or insult me? Osawa let out a heavy sigh, which I transferred over to another player. Genius, weirdo, what did it even matter? So long as he could be left to his work, he didn't care one whit how he looked in other people's eyes. Kajiwara wiped the sweat of his forehead with his handkerchief. By the way, what are you working on right now, he asked. I'm afraid you wouldn't understand even if I explained it to you, Osawa replied. Right, precisely. Even if I gave it my full attention, it would still be beyond me. He peered with sudden intensity at Osawa's face. I'd appreciate if you didn't hide things from me, sir, he said. Osawa gaped, at a loss for words. Oh, oh, wait. Sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry, Kajiwara added, hurry. Goodness, that made it sound like I'm accusing you of hiding something, didn't it? The detective bowed his head repeatedly. I hope you'll forgive me. He held out the banana. That won't be necessary. How about this, then? This time he pulled out a bar of chocolate from his pocket. No, thank you. Did this guy just carry an endless food supply wherever he went? My, Kajiwara murmured, you geniuses really are tough to sort out. He inclined his head, mumbling to himself for a moment. What can I get for you then, sir? What I'd really like is some time by myself. In a daze of exasperation, Osawa felt his way to the study. Locking the door, he finally let out the breath he'd been holding. Then his eyes alighted on the bookshelf against the wall. Oh! He pulled out a photo album and began to flip through it. There were pictures of his daughter's grade school enrollment. Their mother had already passed away from illness, so Osawa had taken the girls himself. He remembered that after the ceremony, Hitomi had came down with a fever. Hitomi had been rather sickly as a girl, falling bedridden at the drop of a hat. Maria, by contrast, had been lively and energetic, quite the handful. Osawa found it remarkable that their personalities could be so different, despite them being twins. He flipped further into their album. There was a picture of the three of them in their grade school graduation. Maria was looking away from the camera. Osawa felt like someone had stabbed a dagger in his heart. His daughters, or virology? Which truly concerned him more? Which did he truly love? It was ridiculous to try to compare the two. He'd known the answer before he even asked himself. Even so, human emotions were complicated and sometimes made people act inconsistently. One of the consequences of that was this photo album. This was the last photo he had of Maria. He'd searched and searched for the rest of the album, but she was nowhere else to be found. So we just have Kano and Tama. Oh wait, no, Tama is finished. I guess so. Just Kano's, I guess, which I guess is just done by changing Tama's storyline. I'll click on that link now. That's a long read, so I'll get back to you on that one. But I've got the tab up. So, I've seen it's nearly at the end of like this whole section. Oh, what? It's nearly at the end of this whole section. So I'll stop it. It's been a good stream. I've had fun. But I might be interested to read it. I'm not going to read it now because it's like 3:45 AM. But anyway, let's see how many bad ends we have now. "13 bad endings. Great. Yeah. Anyway, let's raid someone because actually I have people I follow who are online right now for once. Demi's playing Guts and Glories. In fact, he just started it up, so maybe I'll think about that in a moment. Let's raid Demi because he just started the game. I don't have any raid message or anything, but let's just do that. So, as for me streaming, I will. I mean, I don't know how long it'll take before I stream again. It depends on if I'm busy doing other things. But I mean, if I do stream again, it'll be around this time. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Oh, I guess I'll find out for both of us if it's interesting. Yeah. Anyway, so thanks for anyone who came along. Thanks for anyone who's watching the VOD, etc., etc. Have a good day, night, evening, etc., etc. I'll see you another time.